women can do that anytime they want. Guys, it's like a scavenger hunt, okay? Hunting and escaping, okay? That's what it comes down to. Women decide who they want to bang.
You don't have one of these apps? You don't have one of these apps that you could look through? I forget what they're called. I'm not on a dating app. Help me out here, guys.
Are you
Tinder?
thinking
Like
Tinder?
Yeah, like Tinder.
Okay, Cupid.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I don't know how you
OkCupid,
paused on
Tinder.
Tinder for so long.
Okay, so you really want to go to some site where a woman could basically, I like this guy, and I'll have this guy at 6 p.m., this guy at 11 p.m., and you'll be like, no.
I'm not saying I prefer it. What I'm just saying is that this definitely changed on how people date.
No,
like
it's
in
just people
terms
can
of
have
like
more-
how people look at, slut shaming and everything else. Some people just like to have sex. And they're capable of having sex whenever they want.
But I still miss the old days where you had to work up the courage to ask someone out, then you get rejected, and then you just cry yourself to sleep. What was the point I was trying to make again?
No, first
those
off,
days are
you
still
jerk
around.
off and then you go to sleep.
Well,
Okay.
I think that's
Using your own tears as
Well,
lubricant.
I think that's kind of a foregone conclusion, Bryce. I was trying to be tasteful here.
What on a podcast?
But if
Lies.
you're a
In town,
woman,
does that offend you? Yes.
but if you're a woman nowadays, honestly, if you want sex, you can get it instantly.
Yeah, that's true. But guys have to still work for it, unless you're a Chad
But
or a
not
Tyrone.
But not as hard. But not as hard as they used to.
Not exactly true, because now we got this whole movement going on right now, the Me Too movement and stuff like that. What they're trying to do is, if you look at the percentage, Bert, like this Me Too movement and the sexual harassment stuff, all it is a filter attempt, because if you look at the 100% population of men, 20% of that is of attractive men. 80% is just average, or, obviously, people have been living under a bridge. But that is a very rare percentile, and so women are trying to attempt to filter that a little bit more so they can get more access to this 20% of men. So that's what it comes down to.
So
Man,
just
that's
weed
a
out the
jaded
ugly.
point of view.
Yeah, they're
This
trying
is
to.
just basically natural selection. This is
Yes.
just straight up Darwinism.
And they don't understand.
Get
Why
all
does
the
he
uglies
wanna-
out.
Why does he want to sleep with me? No.
Like,
Man,
I'll
that
listen
is
to you.
jaded.
Fuck off your receding hairline. it's like just straight up Darwinism.
So
Literally,
you're just saying that these apps are just there for selection process.
Yes, it
to
is.
narrow it down.
And then the women don't give a, as long as they're getting good dick, they don't give a shit. There was a girl I know who was dating a guy that for 3 years, he was a former meth addict and a full-blown alcoholic. Her excuse for dating him, and I quote, he was pretty.
Even after
3
these 3 years of drug use, he was still
of
pretty?
abuse. And she was with this guy because he was pretty. Shut the fuck up, you dumb twat.
You have never dated anybody that you weren't supposed to date, and know you weren't supposed to date just for sex.
Okay, you got to remember, I fucked strippers. Okay,
Jeez.
all right, and I did, and mainly because at that point in time I didn't want to live.
But you were fucking, right? You weren't dating.
Oh, he
you were
was
just
fucking if he was fucking a stripper.
I made the mistake of trying to get serious with 2 of them. Never did it again. After I figured that out, then I just started going on rotation with them. So,
But you figured it out. Some people don't figure it out.
Yeah, it didn't work with 2 of them, but you got to look at terms like this. The first one, it seems like it wasn't that big of a catastrophe. It's like, yeah, I'll give it a try the second time.
Well, no. At that time frame, I learned a very valuable piece of information. Crazy ass is good ass. Okay, remember that.
Yes.
It's good times, but then you realize there's a lot of risks involved.
Did you ever have to get glitter out of your urethra?
Luckily, no. But I did find glitter on me though. Okay. I never understood that, the glitter and the spray stuff they put on them.
It's the illusion. You
that's
don't. You don't want to walk into a place. You already going to a strip club. It's a little dirty. It's a little dinky. You got to add some glitter to your body to illuminate yourself. You don't want to just walk in plain Jane with a fucking
See, you need to
with
be
a
like,
fucking bikini on.
yeah, Bert, you need to be doing this stuff wearing a smoking jacket right by a fireplace. I love all you ladies out there, you know. This is all for you ladies, how I understand you.
It's the presentation.
It's
You
presentation.
You don't want to fucking walk in a place like that.
Wait,
just,
it's
you know, with a
presentation.
spray-
She gets up on stage, gets butt naked, spreads eagle. That's about presentation. It's all about ambience. You know,
Ambience.
it's the aesthetic we're looking for. It's most fascinating. Oh, I see this valley in Canyon, and I love what I see.
It is. The last time I've been to a strip club has been a long time. I'll never forget the last time I went. There was this girl girl, not very
He's not trying to
attractive
incriminate himself.
at
Right?
all.
I'm like, all right, let's see. How
Yeah, I
far
gotta
he
put
gets
this
in
shit out. If I'm gonna have this on the internet, I'm gonna let them know. Look, it's been a little bit.
He's
Well, you're
delicately
married,
walking
so-
through this.
Yeah, I'm married, and I cannot afford a divorce.
Maybe at this time, I don't know in the future, but we don't know like what kind of a possible side effects.
Everybody
this
knows
conversation can have.
marriages within this time frame is a 50-50 split. You can see somebody 2 weeks and another 2 weeks they're divorced. So it all depends.
Right.
But I can definitely remember going there, and there was this girl, she was ugly as fuck, man. And she was dancing her ass off, man.
man.
She was fucked up, man. And she was just dancing her ass off. I got geeked up. And I actually stood out of my chair. I was like, yeah, you fucking go, girl. I was like, fuck yeah. And she looked over at me and she was like, yeah. She started dancing harder.
That's
So
a
Burt
weird
Young,
thing.
motivational
Stripper power.
speaker for
Yeah,
strippers.
girl power.
yeah. I was,
Shake your
man.
ass, baby.
I got jacked up because I saw her working hard for that money. She ugly. We gotta remember that.
I mean,
so she gonna
yeah, you
dance
gotta
3 times as
overcompensate.
hard.
Well, no, the problem that I've seen in the industry is that women spend that money like it's gonna rot, and then the worst part is the gifts. The gifts, Jesus Christ! I could save this for the podcast because the
this
shit
is
I can tell you about this stuff
podcast.
is unfucking real.
What's the
Goddamn,
gifts? Hold on, tell
You're
us what the
loud
fuck.
as
I would say save it for the podcast, but because some of the shit I can tell you will fucking throw you for
All
a
right. Well,
loop.
speaking of, here we'll start the intro.
Yeah.
All right. Is this the kind of music that bitch was dancing to?
No, she was dancing the fucking I get the bag.
I get the bag.
And they tumbled it straight up the lot because I got cash.
So where was the strip club at?
Huh?
Where was the strip club?
Oh, it was the Atlanta.
Of course, it's Lansing. Those nasty ass strip clubs down in
Alright.
Lansing.
Yeah, I saw some bitch over there. She had a tattoo all over her face, dude. Her whole face was tattooed.
Oh
Was
yeah.
it Mike Tyson's?
Fucking, her body was out of this world, but her fucking face was just completely tattooed.
You ever seen that shit now where women are like now tattooing their eyebrows?
Oh,
Yes, I
God.
did. see
Jesus
that.
Christ!
Seen
You thought it was
now. I
bad
saw that
enough
shit
to
in the
tell.
fucking 90s, man.
Yeah.
If you grew up around Hispanic families, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Why you
bitch-
have extra Sharpies in your house?
Yeah, but it's like, why do you got blue eyebrows? Like, what the fuck is happening here? Because you know, black always like fades to a bluish kind of color in tattooing. And
Rule of thumb, though, if a woman is shaving her eyebrows and penciling her features, get the hell out. Run. Pull the ripcord now.
You know what the fucked up part is? I didn't realize that was a thing where people drew on their eyebrows to about like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Really?
To the moment, I thought it's like, oh, that's just how they look. That's cool. And I just kind of took it. I guess that's progressive of me to
know, I
think
saw
that. Just
that
go
too.
with it. I don't know.
It's been a thing since like the early days of cinema where it was a great look for everybody and it was become an adaptive thing for women to do. I remember seeing it at 8 or 9 years old saying, yeah,
Lies.
this bitch looks fucking crazy. So, I already swore. So, God
no,
damn.
we can swear
we
as
can
much as we
swear.
want.
Yeah, we cuss.
Fuck yeah. America, fuck yeah.
Speaking of fuck yeah, welcome to the Odtoy podcast.
Yeah, oh, does this offend you? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we're allowed to swear.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool. I
hold
can
on, let's
abuse
get
English
back on
language.
these-
I'm all for that.
Let's get back on these fucking gifts you were talking about.
Well, first of all, let's introduce all who's here.
Yeah,
you know,
that works.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Second episode.
I'm here. I'm a guest here, and I'm running through protocols for introductions to you guys. What the hell?
Because we got amped up on talking about earlier.
Well, no, you got amped up, sir, because
I did
you are.
get amped up. You just see my
We need to
volume
give a
levels
fan
go
or something
sky
on
high.
you, man.
Here, I'll start with the formalities. I
Good
am
thing you
Kyle
wore loose
Allen,
pants.
and going to my left,
I'm Burt Young.
And I'm Joe Beasley.
and our guest for today. State your name.
Well, I'm a man of many names, but in the pro wrestling world, I'm known as Jarod Priest, but in the comedy world, I'm known as Bryce Friday. What's up, everybody?
Okay.
Now, do you only perform on Fridays?
I try to, but you know, everybody is stubborn to run shows on Saturdays. It sucks. You know, what can you do?
People gotta do shit.
Well,
on
you can
Saturdays.
bitch about
When is
it.
that?
That's always one thing you can do.
And that's why we made this podcast. We can bitch about many things.
All right.
Exactly.
That
Oh,
and we
okay.
got an excuse to say a bunch of fucking stupid shit in a room, and we have something to fucking show for it.
Just a group of guys talking about stuff and
My
being
girlfriend's like,
funny and
what are
shit.
you doing in that room with just a bunch of guys? We're doing something important.
We're doing stuff.
But
Don't open the door.
Mind your business.
So yeah,
Door.
Don't open the door, but we're doing stuff.
Why are you sweating so
You know,
much?
we-
We're doing a podcast.
You know what we
Mind your business.
What's going on under that table?
next time your girlfriends, you know what we should do after the podcast, like she comes in, we should all come off with our shirts off, all looking like we were sweating and shit.
What is part of the podcast? That's how you relate to your guest. You gotta,
And you yell out, "Where's my pants?"
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
If anybody of this group would lose their pants, it probably would be you, Bert, because of all the stuff we're
You know-
talking about right now.
But you know what? I probably would lose my. I love my body. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No,
if I
it's-
could walk around naked 365 days a year, I would. I
well,
have
there was
no
that one
problem
time
with
you
that.
came in with the vest on.
I did with a vest and I had a gold chain on too.
Scared all my fucking
With no
neighbors.
shirt. I
They're
did.
like, what the fuck is like? Did he hire him or?
Well, that was my intention to scare your
And
neighbors.
you
That was
wore
extra.
the vest open.
Open, yeah.
Thank God you shaved your chest that day.
Jesus.
I didn't shave my chest. That's just me not being pubescent. But yeah, it was hot. It was hot. I'm all 40 years old. If I feel like I can just wear no shirt and the vest, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do.
As you're leaving, the Russian chick that lives above us was probably like, man, I wonder what his rate is.
Well, you gotta say, I wonder what his rate is.
Speaking of Russian chick, Bryce, how long have you been a wrestler? Had to find a way to get back on subject.
Segue.
What
There's no
is the
freaking
subject?
segues on this, huh?
No.
All right, well, I've been a professional wrestler for 18 and a half years now. I'm coming up on 19 years come May of 2020. Yeah.
Holy
Congratulations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
'Cause that's a hard
Congratulations. Fuck you. Okay? I've been doing it for a very long time, and it's been fun, but it has its highs and its lows, like everything that you pursue for something that long.
I can imagine. Well, when I contacted you, because I've known you for quite a while, and me being a wrestling fan as well, it's like I figured it'd be a good idea to give sort of an expose of
look at independent wrestling.
like an even low budget version of Vice Examination.
The dark side of the indie ring. Okay.
What is under his spandex?
Okay, so I guess let's take baby steps.
Tanning
then Kyle
oil
just goes,
or
"Well, let's
baby
take
oil?
baby."
Wait a second. Is that spam? Or canola oil?
I definitely would stuff if I was a wrestler. I would. I don't even care how big I was.
I know wrestlers who did bits where they stuffed. And
What?
they would stuff a sock down to the front of their trunks, and then would dig in and pull it out and wipe their brow and put it back into their trunks.
No, man.
Hey, you want to hear this shit, okay?
And somebody
That's
didn't fucking
true.
get in a fight after that. You guys looked at that shit as entertainment.
What do you mean? Well, some people do, and some people are supposed to be mortified.
Sometimes you just gotta smell your wares, you know.
I don't know. Well, the guy was supposed to play this flamboyantly gay character, and he would
That's progressive.
yeah, but he would roll. Well, it gets even worse when he roll up guys who would be humping him during the count. You know,
Wait. So wait, who would be humping him? Like when he's
this
getting
guy
pinned?
who did this flamboyantly gay gimmick.
So he would
wrestling
hump
gimmick.
the guy when he was pinning them.
He got to roll up. He's on top of him. He starts humping him while the ref is doing the 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh wow!
You know what? There's worse than that. There is a group. If you want to be traumatized, look up a tag team called the Christopher Street Connection.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
they did
Wait, is that
everything.
a tag team connection? Or is that like a gang from the south side?
No, it was a tag team that did like all this gay innuendo stuff in the ring. It would do something where they slide across a guy and leave his crotch on the guy's head and calls it the slither. There was so much stuff that would intentionally. It was supposed to, upset people in the audience. So
See, I love that, man. That's fucking great. Anything that fucking gets the crowd fucking pissed off and mad, I fucking love it.
You mean
You're
like
really
racism
starting to
in
scare me,
wrestling? Are we
Bert.
gonna get back on this topic?
You're really scaring me, Bert, because there's a lot of sexual tension that is like arising from you. That's going to be.
But you know what? To be honest with you, that's my favorite wrestlers were like these flamboyant guys. Like Adrian Adonis, he was one
Yeah.
of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, but Adrian Adonis wasn't initially like that. He became like that because he was in WWF. He was a serious wrestler, but then, You know, since he joined WWF, he was kind of fat at the time. It's like, oh, we're going.
We're
You
just
got
making
guys.
cross-dressers.
Well, there's also
Since
Rick
I've gained
Rude.
some weight, we're
There's the
gonna-
Ravishing
yeah.
Rick Rude. There was Gino Hernandez.
which is also one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
Those guys who are openly like flamboyant like that, and I don't know if that works good now compared to because the gay community is looked at a lot differently, than it was 25 years ago. But I loved it even back then as a kid because people get so amped up about watching it. And I used to fucking love it when people get like, oh, get that fucking sissy out of here. Look what he's doing. He's rubbing his nuts across that guy's face. It's disgusting. But then me think, I was like, yeah, he's getting the crowd really fucking pissed off because this was even before people knew that wrestling was scripted. So when people knew that wrestling was scripted, then I was like, oh, he's fucking getting people amped up.
Yeah,
I like
but-
to see the emotional aspect.
Yeah, but people need to understand there was a difference between what they did in the ring and how they were on the outside of the ring. And
Oh, yeah.
also, it was not progressive, too, in like how people, if they were actually of, gay orientation, how they were received. There was a wrestler that in my opinion, was a phenomenal wrestler and did not get the respect he deserved, was Chris Kanyon.
Yes.
He was the innovator of offense. He had maneuvers that I can say that were phenomenal and next generation. But because of his orientation at a time from where it was not acceptable, he was ridiculed and mocked and stuff like that. And eventually it was one of the many things that led to his suicide. And it's a very sad thing because he was a phenomenal wrestler, but because of what his orientation was, it was affecting like how his work was with the WWE and everything.
Well, also too, I think there was an issue where they utilized the sort of like the gay gimmicks, like especially back in the day, but it wasn't really progressive at all. It was more so to evoke gay panic, if anything.
Yeah, a gay-demic, yeah.
Like
Gay-demic.
A gay-demic.
Back at the perfect time.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you want to know, what do you want to know, like, with wrestling and
So
stuff?
let's
Because
start
obviously, I got to reel us back.
So what made you become a wrestler? Let's just work with baby steps.
Okay, well, this is, again, for those who end up, like, listening to this and are actually fans of mine, this is an
Who
honest...
end up listening to this? What are you implying, Bryce?
Well, I say...
He's saying we're a bunch of pieces of shit.
No. There'll be people who want to hear about this, because I never really divulged this stuff.
Okay.
But when I was very young, I lost a brother to suicide.
Oh, didn't
Yeah,
know.
it really reevaluated how I look things at life, and not to mention the fact that my father was an actor and a performer, and I did a lot of different things acting wise back then, and I didn't feel like I was getting that need of performing fulfilled. I felt very incomplete.
Yeah.
And then at the time I was working at this restaurant, and there was a group of friends who were into wrestling, and they loved watching wrestling. And keep in mind, I loved watching wrestling when I was a kid. Okay, I loved it. I loved the pageantry. I loved the characters. My favorite characters was perfect example of Ricky Steamboat. He was
excellent.
I felt he was the king. I loved Hogan, but Ricky Steamboat, in my opinion, was far above.
Well, Ricky Steamboat was like one of those characters back in the day where his really defining character trait was that he was a really good wrestler.
Right.
Like, he didn't have a lot of he didn't have the madness like Macho Man Randy Savage, or he wasn't manic like Roddy Piper, and he wasn't so in your face like Hogan. But Ricky Steamboat was just kind of like a quiet guy. He had a family. He was a pure babyface, but he was a really good wrestler. And that was his character.
Phenomenal
And
wrestler.
people love Ricky because that was his
was
his
legit.
gimmick. If anything, he was
Right.
good at what he was.
Well, he wasn't trying to be anyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are the type of people that inspired me. But then I fell out of like many kids do, got into other interests, and started getting into other things, and I stepped away from it. Then fast forward about 10 years later, I just was chilling at a hotel room after performing at the Ren Fair that day. And there was wrestling. I'm like, holy shit. And I started sitting there and watching, and I'm like, I got hooked back into it again. And then I started realizing there were friends of mine that I worked with that watched wrestling, so we'd sit down and watch wrestling, play video games that were wrestling related and stuff like that. And also we were watching wrestling one night, and there was a conversation that came around and I just remember saying, yeah, you guys can picture me doing this.
Now,
They
what
actually
year was this?
This was, 99.
Okay.
Yeah, 99. And they stopped, looked at me, looked at the TV, looked at me, and said, actually, we can picture you doing this. And then and then I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm thinking about maybe this wrestling's one of the things that I can get myself into. And it took me a couple years, but I found a wrestling school that was located in Stone Park at the time. It was ran by one of the people who were figureheads was lifeguard Sonny Rogers. I don't know if you know who that guy was, a former WWF wrestler. I got myself into a school there, started training, and about 6 months in, that's when I started having having matches and been wrestling ever since. And I've just been wrestling under the moniker of Jarod Priest. So that's pretty much what I'd say. I mean, I've worked with different companies. That initial company I was a part of, they closed. And I started just working with different independent companies that had their own entity or whatever, and then just been working the indies like any other independent worker.
So now here you are, going this wrestling camp, starting out and doing everything. What was something about wrestling camp that the average person wouldn't understand?
Okay, well, for starters, the biggest thing that people say, which is a bunch of line of shit, is like, "Ooh, you do that fake stuff." You know, I mean, like, that's a word that I would never ever say is fake, because the training that takes to do this, you're being taught how to fall. You're being taught how to get slammed. You're getting taught how to run the ropes. These are things that are very physically challenging that will beat you to your knees. And you have to get back up on your feet and do it again. And the first time I legitimately took a hip toss, I felt like my lungs were going to come out of my mouth. That's what it felt like. And then I started learning the craft and learning the trade, and you basically are conditioning your body to, take this type of punishment. And then there's these endurance drills that would kill you. There'd be like, okay, say for example, there would be 10 guys in this practice, and the endurance drill would say you have to take 3 arm drags from each person in succession. So you're taking 33 arm drags in a row, and you have to complete it.
What exactly is an arm drag?
It's an arm drag is like a hook where you come in and face the guy, go under his arm, and throw him over the shoulder. Over the side.
Okay. Anybody that watched WWE will know exactly what.
Yeah, they'll know exactly what an arm drag is.
Yeah.
But you would have to take 33 of these in a row.
Holy fuck!
And there'll be guys outside puking, guys gasping for air on the outside. When I knew I finally reached where I wanted to be is when I was in the ring. I was on my knees at the corner, just breathing, gasping for air, and then I got to my feet, and the trainer's like, "Why is this guy standing and the rest of you guys sucking wind?" And I'm like, okay, now I know I've reached some sort of pinnacle. It's a lot of dedication and training. Everybody thinks it's just basically all it is moves. No, there is a psychology that is involved in this business. It's being able to tell a story, which I think is a lot missed in today's industry, is that people think, oh, I just got to do a succession of moves. I can do 15 versions of a moonsault. That's what will get me over with the crowd. No, it's going out there and telling a story that people can relate to and connect with. And that's what's annoying about today's business, because I always felt I wanted to go out there and be a storyteller. I wanted to tell stories that people can connect with, relate to, or understand. Why you think there were some gimmicks or some stories out there that people really rationalized with and connected with, like Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold. Everybody wants to beat up their boss. And they heard someone giving an opportunity to beat up their boss. Mm-hmm. It's something that people relate to and connect to, and that's a problem with a lot of the guys in the industry. Don't understand. They want to go out there and showcase what they do, and it's still better than a martial arts exhibition.
Now, how does that storytelling differ from if you're doing an indie show as compared to a storyline that we could turn on the TV and watch?
Well, their whole style of wrestling, it's made for the cameras. They have to. There's a hard shot cam, and they know where the hard shot camera is, and they have to play with the camera. We're independent. It's more in your face, and very much everybody's interacting with the crowd, getting the crowd involved, because they're the reason why you're doing this.
Instead of just a main focus for that audience that you know it's going to be directed to.
Yes, it's a main focus. Everybody will put their attention on the wrestlers, and the wrestlers will put their attention on them. Because to get them involved, to tell who the good guy and bad guy is in the ring, it all depends on how it's done by the bad guy, the heel, or the good guy, the face. That's how people rally behind. But now the industry, that has changed. People love the bad guys more than the good guys sometimes.
Oh, well, it's like the anti-hero. Like, everybody kind of rooted for the Joker. And, nobody really gave a fuck about Batman. Like, really, to be honest. Anybody that was saying that they wanted Batman to win on those movies, come on. you
Well,
kind
now
of
the Joker
like
has his own movie without Batman.
exactly,
associated
and
with it.
and then now they got the Suicide Squad and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody's always liked the bad guy. I mean, even like that was like the thing. I'm not a wrestling fan these days, but Sting was a big thing with me when I was younger. And I think it was because he was kind of like the anti-hero.
Or
Like
he had the
everybody
crow
saw him
makeup.
as,
Not Surfer Sting.
not
Yeah.
that fucking
The
thing.
silent guardian. The silent guardian Sting watching from the rafters.
Yeah, I liked like even the Undertaker. Like the Undertaker was not a nice guy, but you know, you like kind of saw like his like troubled self, and that kind of like pulled you into him.
Well, they were
Like-
enigmatic. You didn't know too much about them. They were mysterious. And
But
so
they
had
seemed
that
like they
quality.
had some pain, and that's like their connecting
And
tissue.
yeah, and that's how they dealt with their pain. It's got to be It's got to be a phone or something. What you're hearing right there.
Probably my phone on top of the computer.
Oh, that's not good. But yeah, there's characters that people just connect with right away. You know, that there are some that are just like you said, enigmatic. You know, there was a guy that was in WCW that I literally got drawn into. His name was Vampiro. I mean, once he started doing this misfit kind of gimmick with it, it was awesome.
What do you mean, like?
Like the sunken face makeup, stuff like the Misfits
Oh,
were, and
okay,
stuff like
cool.
that. But he was Vampiro, so the vampire thing, and it was a very cool gimmick, and he had some great movesets, and it was very much drawn in, and his career was cut short because of injuries. I mean, he still was wrestling, but not at the capacity he was. But I think he's still wrestling in AAA. But I think there's something.
He's a commentator for AAA.
He's
and,
a commentator. Okay.
Not a great one.
I know. Well, yeah, wrestling will do that to you. So.
Now you've taken bumps.
Yes.
You're out of camp now. Tell us about your first match.
First match, I was in a 6-man tag.
How old were you?
I was 25.
Holy shit.
And it was my first match. It was a 6-man tag, and it was. I'm going to see if I can remember the names in this. Eric West, Sonny Rogers, myself versus Matt Monroe, Tony Scarpone, and Chris Styles. And it was a 6-man tag. It was the best. Those type of matches. There was a veteran in there controlling it and controlling what we were doing. I did very well for my first match, but the ending got weird because we're all supposed to do this submission, and I couldn't get this guy into submission in time. I kept on fumbling around with the guy here to put him in position for a submission, and finally it was like everybody beat them for that submission in general. So I mean, before then I was also doing Royals. That's a good way to get a guy introduced to the crowd and stuff like that. But my first match was that match.
What's a royal? That's like,
Battle Royals, where there's a group
okay,
of wrestlers in the ring at the same time, and you're trying to eliminate them by throwing over the top rope to be the last man
kind
standing.
of like a King of the Ring or something.
Yeah, pretty much
Okay.
King of the Ring kind of thing. But it's so all these guys are in the ring. So
See, we're educating right now.
And also, the important thing is top rope, because there's a lot of shenanigans and fuckery when it comes to that. Because you have guys who go for the middle rope and they're outside, but they could go back in because they weren't thrown over the top rope and all that.
They have to be removed by being thrown over the top rope into thrown over the top rope. I'm moving my phone.
You're the culprit.
maybe.
All right, to anyone who's not been picking up on it, we've been hearing a lot of static, and we were trying to figure out what it was. Turns out it was our phones.
Yeah, it was our phones
I'm
giving us some
sitting
static
here-
because we were hearing
It
some
was our
static.
guest sabotaging his own expose interview. What if there was like a Vice interview where there was just like the whole subject who was like doing documentary just like kept fucking up the process too, like kept knocking the camera down or something like that?
Oh, I'm sure it's fucking happening.
But no, as I was saying, the battle royal is like you throw a guy over the top rope, his both feet have to touch the ground and stuff like that, and you have to be the last guy standing to win the match. So that's how that works. So what? Okay, so
So you mentioned how there was a veteran working the match. So how exactly does that shit go down when you're in the ring? So does one guy
God.
just have the plan, or does everyone just kind of like do a free for all and just kind of hope to make it look good?
well, it depends. Sometimes they structure it, but a lot of the times it falls on the veteran to put it together, and a lot of people just need to follow the veteran. The veteran is the one who knows what he's doing in there, knows how to do this, knows how to put the match out right, and you have to listen to it. But there are some people obviously who don't follow that, don't listen to it, and stuff like that. Here's the thing that's behind the scenes. And it's not done anymore. There is a hierarchy in wrestling that you have to follow. Like when you first, for example, you first show up to the venue or you first show up to the school, you have to go shake hands with everybody in the place, and you start from the top and go down. You go to the most experienced person in the room, and you shake their hands, and so on and forth.
like kissing the ring,
It's like kissing the ring. Welcome to the monarchy of wrestling, basically. They don't do that much anymore because people are not taught about respect that much in this business, unfortunately. But it's showing respect to the people that come before you.
I don't think that's a trend these days. I mean,
No.
even in like rap music, if you listen to like the disrespect that you hear in fucking rap music these days, I just want to like strangle some of these fucking people.
Yeah,
Like say like, oh, Tupac was not good. Okay, kill yourself.
yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but fuck off. He was an artist. He wasn't just somebody just saying some shit that rhymed in a row. Like,
okay,
I'm going off topic.
No, but no, you raise a very valid point.
Motherfucker.
You raise a very valid point. The valid point is that nobody respects history. Nobody understands history or talk out of their ass to the point where they don't appreciate the people who helped pave the road for
That's
them.
probably social media, really, to be honest, because now everybody thinks that they're just the shit. You know what I mean? If you get a couple thousand followers and you don't do nothing but work at Wendy's, you still might be walking around with your chin high like, I'm on some shit. You know what I mean? Like, you get a couple hundred likes and it gets to your head. I mean, I'm sure that you guys have all heard of some fucking people that try to impress you by, like, all right, this is really off topic, but this is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Say if so,
Yourselves.
I'm sure you all know gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Has any of your gamer friends ever tried to impress you by telling you that they played a game with somebody famous?
No.
Online.
No.
I haven't known
Most of the
anyone-
time, nobody's talking because they're just busy shooting.
I
And
don't know
I'm just
anyone
saying,
personally who's done that, but I've heard people who have.
this
like,
is the level
bragged
of delusion out there.
Yeah, I was
We'll
gonna say,
just
yeah, I
that.
haven't. Yeah, known any gamers that have played with anyone famous either.
Yeah, that's the level of delusion that we're living in nowadays, where anybody's looking for anything as just a way of like one-upping the next person next to them instead of just trying to bring each other up. And
It's a
that's the
clout war,
culture.
basically.
Nobody gives a fuck about the past. Nobody cares about what anybody else did. They all think they're the shit.
Oh yeah, and
This is a generational fucking issue too, I think.
right, and nobody's humble. Or-
Nobody is humble.
Nobody's
but they'll write
humble.
songs about being humble.
Yeah, nobody's humble. No one shows that type of the idea of honor and respect is a foreign concept to a lot of people nowadays. And like in wrestling though, if you did not show respect, you would be reminded why you should show respect. But of course, that changed a lot within a few years of me being in the business because there was this whole thing now that was putting attention about hazing. College hazing and stuff like that. And wrestling, there is hazing as well. And it stopped. All of it stopped. And I think that because of that stopping, it now presented this whole scenario of a creation of people not, understanding the consequence of their actions, being disciplined for their actions. It all ended that because of that scenario.
So do you think that hazing not being incorporated in the wrestling world kind of like brought about this behavior of disrespect? Or?
Yeah, but you also see it in WWE programming. You see it how they punish a wrestler for doing something wrong. They'll do it.
Yeah.
They'll do it publicly, and I think that's also one of the reasons why WWE now is dealing with an issue now that they haven't dealt with for a very long time with the rise of AEW, another rising a fed that's now coming out now and starting to really gain traction. And the problem with someone like Vince McMahon and the WWE is that they've been king for so long. They've ruled for so long, and they were able to treat people the way however they wanted to treat. And that they thought there would be no reprisals. But the problem is with our society, and what we never learn is that we not only create our heroes, but we also create our own monsters. We create our own enemies. Mm-hmm. And that's what was going on. Now you got former WWE employees now working together to create a fed to challenge WWE. And this is probably the first time that I think WWE in a long time is now feeling threatened because of something like this, because they're starting to gain a lot of traction. You've actually been to an AEW show.
Yes, I went to their first one, All In.
Right, and you're probably going to go to the one that's in Chicago coming up.
Oh, no,
right?
that's sold out.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
sold out in
sold out.
how many
When
minutes?
you got screwed.
Yeah.
then you
I
got
could
screwed.
buy a ticket off StubHub if I wanted, shell out over $500.
But it makes a point though that now there's a new threat, and now it's like I said, we create our own enemies, we create our own monsters, and it's just one of those things where it's gonna bite them in the ass, and whether or not they can weather the storm or not, I don't know, because you just can't create an environment where you feel like you can treat anybody poorly and like, well, where else can they go? They can't go anywhere else. Ha 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 ha. And all of a sudden, well, yeah, there's this company out here called AEW, and Chris Jericho's part of it. What? Son of a...
You don't think there's a place for both? For people who like to wrestle more in the sports entertainment spectrum than other people who just like their wrestling more in the independent scene spectrum?
What do you mean? I mean, you mean that people that prefer to wrestle the independent scene because they can make more money?
Well,
or
not
what?
prefer, just as an audience, as me watching television as an audience in general.
Well, that's also about preference too, because people don't like how WWE's programming's been lately. So they look for other avenues or other aspects of the business for entertainment, then they lean more towards independence. And people are far more entertained by the independents.
It depends
At
on
some
the
detail.
indie scenes in particular, because personally for me, I like New Japan Pro Wrestling. I even like some what AEW's put on so far, all 2 shows. All it doesn't really count. That was before AEW. But anyway, so... yeah, but there are certain things like PWG where they get too jokey, and it's not that it's not entertaining, it's just it's not for me. I prefer actual wrestling storytelling. But I remember you mentioned earlier how because the culture that WWE has as far as instilling respect and all that sometimes they will punish certain wrestlers on air. And I think we should go into that a little bit, just a little bit. Because sometimes what WWE would do is, if to punish a wrestler, they would just bury them. Bury, of course, is a term meaning that book them in a way where they absolutely have no momentum. And usually it's some very humiliating, either like a one-sided loss or just a segment that just absolutely embarrasses them, too.
Right, it's just to destroy their credibility.
Right, and WWE has done that quite a few times. The most recent one I could think of was a tag team feud between tag teams called The Revival and the Usos. And there was a segment on Monday Night Raw where the Usos put icy hot cream in the Revival's trunks, and as a result, the Revival were all skirting around, ass dragging across the ring. These are grown men who are in their 30s, and they're dragging their ass across the ring like they're goddamn dogs. And the reason for all that is because the Revival is trying to get released from WWE. So that's why they're getting booked like that.
Right, they're going to be
punishment booking.
They're going to do that, and it happens also in the independent scene too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's not just that too. Then you'll see these kind of things. Francine from ECW told me a very long time ago when I met her. It was the same night I had my first match, and I'm so glad that she gave me this chunk of advice. And out of all people of the world, like ECW, Francine. Also, may I add that she also personally broke in my boots. Okay, she stomped on my boots and said, "Now you can say your boots were broken in by Francine."
And Google Francine, guys, if you haven't seen
Yeah, because Francine in her heyday. Oh yeah. Anyway.
That's funny because back in the day, fans would call her crack whore.
Yes, I know. But that's also with the makeup and everything like that. Yeah. But she was very, very sweet. But the one thing, like I said, the piece of advice she gave me is learning the moves in wrestling is one thing. Learning the politics is just as important. And it was and she was right. Because there's always going to be a situation where you could be the best wrestler on the roster. But whoever's the person that's sucking up to the booker or playing little deceitful games of trying to say, oh, this person's this, and try to screw over people to maintain their spotlight because they're not as good. But because they have political ties, they manage to keep themselves afloat. But bearing other people, it sucks. It's bullshit.
Oh, just like regular people with their regular jobs.
Yeah, it's the same scenario. It is literally the same thing. There's these dirty little back politics that little fucking jagoffs. Yeah, I'm very personal about this one because I've dealt with this, and it pisses you off. Because there'll be people saying some stupid shit and thinking it's still goddamn high school. Because an educated person would ask questions before assuming one side. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but I'm not a teenage girl that whatever's first told to me is the truth. I would analyze a situation thoroughly before I make a decision. But because they're friends with somebody and the higher ups, and they were the first person to get information to them, they were able to get away with murder. It was sad that this is happening. And it happened. You look at the WWE, it's the same scenario. They just did this whole thing where they raced on Vice, the dark side of the ring. And they're talking about the Montreal screw job and how they screwed over Bret Hart during his match against Shawn Michaels.
Now,
And
explain this to people who aren't into wrestling, because there's a lot of people who don't watch wrestling but aren't.
I have
familiar
no
with the
idea
Montreal.
what you're
Okay.
talking about.
all right,
Put some
okay.
education on
The
Joe
Montreal
here.
screw
I'm
job.
yes manning for the past like 20 minutes.
Okay, you're learning wrestling. Yes, you're learning. Okay, so basically in a nutshell, Bret Hart's contract was coming up, and he wanted to go to WCW, but he was the heavyweight champion at the time. But there was this pay-per-view that we were a part of. He was facing Shawn Michaels, and already these two had heat to begin with. Okay, like they legitimately hated each other. They were professional.
It wasn't like their character thing.
No,
They
this was
legitimately
personal, real heat.
Oh, okay.
Because at the time, Shawn Michaels was
A dick.
a dick.
Did he wear pink?
That was
Shawn
Bret
Michaels.
Hart.
No, that was Bret.
Hart.
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bret Hart.
okay, okay.
Shawn
Bret Hart
Michaels
was-
is the young guy. He wore hearts.
It's the parallel
tights.
world.
Yeah.
You got the one guy who was the dedicated wrestler who believed in ring honor and stuff like that, and then on the other side you got a guy who's showboating, flamboyant, pissing on girls in front of him, like and they're standing in front of him going yeah in a hotel room because he's Shawn Michaels. So but the situation was the show was in Canada, and he didn't want to drop the title to Shawn there. Mm-hmm. He was willing to do it the next show, I guess.
Because it's pre-planned before they do.
Yes,
And then
yes.
they elaborate and act and okay, all right.
The illusion of wrestling has now been opened.
All right. Well, I'm trying to understand how it works that way, because I've heard like when there's upsets with like what happened with Ronda Rousey. I didn't understand. They were like, "Oh, she was supposed to pin somebody or something." I don't remember. And
I know what you're talking
I remember
about.
there was a big uproar about it, and I was like, "Well, isn't it all pre-planned anyway, or like it just didn't go exactly how it wanted to go?" And
Well,
then
you gotta
what's the fun in that? if
You got to
it
remember
goes
the officials
exactly-
have earphones in there, and they get directions from the back telling them if they're going to change something up on the fly.
Oh, so yeah,
So-
it would have.
yeah, it's
It's
going there.
completely out of her fucking control anyway.
Right. But this situation, what happened was, basically there was this match that was going on between Bret Hart and Shawn, and during the match, Shawn puts on Bret Hart's finisher, the sharpshooter, and generally he was going to lock in the hold, and it was supposed to be a setup where he's going to come back and counter, but instead, once the hold was locked in, the ref automatically called the match, like he tapped out.
What?
And Shawn won the belt right then and there. He didn't tap out or anything.
Okay.
This
so-
was bad.
and this was
I'm sure,
promised
like,
that
the
Bret Hart would
fans
at
flip
least
the fuck
win
out.
in Canada.
Yeah, they would at least win in
Yeah.
Canada. To this day, Canadians are pissed, and
really?
they will hate Shawn Michaels forever. Even though he's born again, he's faced his demons. He's all different. No, Canada never forgets. Okay, but yeah, there's this
pretty much
whole.
like the pinnacle of politics and wrestling.
It also exposed the business too. It exposed the industry. Yeah, Brett furious. He spits on Vince McMahon publicly, and then backstage, Vince is trying to smooth things out, and Brett punches his lights out. There's a whole. You look up the video. It's like Vince McMahon with a black eye going, "Brett screwed Brett." You know.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but that black eye tells us different.
And there's a great documentary called Beyond the Mat.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen, it's called Beyond the Mat, and it has a very detailed view of this match in general, plus other things that happened to a couple other wrestlers in the independent scene. So if you guys get a chance,
Is that
rent it or check
on
it out.
Netflix or something?
Yeah, you should be able to find it on Netflix.
I think it's like it might be on Netflix. I know you can stream it. Netflix,
It's a late
Hulu.
90s documentary. But
Yeah.
around that time, too, there's this documentary called Wrestling in the Shadows about Bret Hart.
Yeah,
and
that's-
this
that
was
was
a
the reference
documentary
on it.
crew that was just doing a documentary about Bret Hart. And they were filming him around the Montreal Screwjob, and they didn't know this happened. So this became
yeah.
a Montreal Screwjob documentary. So you got to see the fallout, Bret Hart being pissed, fucking shit up, like destroying tables and all that.
Oh yeah.
He was pissed. And there are people that still say, oh, they worked it. No,
No, it
Bret
was
Hart
not a
was
work.
legitimately very pissed.
Yeah,
He
it
got
was not a
fucked
work.
over.
And it just was like at that time frame though, WCW was killing WWE. You know, they were competing, and there was once again politics. There were moles. There were people telling secrets about what WWE's like storylines are. So Bischoff would like go on there on when he was running WCW, revealing the matches telling stories, like revealing all the secrets of what WWE was doing. It was a bad time. And Bret Hart going to the WCW at that time frame was a volatile situation. But then again, that hurt Bret too, because there'd be certain people who was wrestling that he get hurt by. One of them is Goldberg. Anyway.
Oh, dude. That was my
Goldberg,
dude.
He hurt him so bad though. He was hurting guys. He was not being safe in the ring.
I could tell he was a fucking pit bull.
Yeah, but but that's what happens.
There's no other way to explain him. He's a pit bull. He had no neck.
But the problem is when you don't have the proper training, you're supposed to protect that person. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to protect them. They're not just go out there and just make yourself look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was smashing motherfuckers, and that's why people loved him. They're like, "Oh, it looks so real," and it's like, "Yeah,
no, it's real. Guys were getting messed up." And what happened with Bret? He got post-concussion syndrome because of Goldberg. He kicked him in the head.
Oh,
yeah, 1-2 bumps too many, and then that basically shortened Bret Hart's career.
And that's even one thing, too. We were talking about.
That's not a
watching,
little guy, too.
Andre the Giant documentary, and he took solace in almost that he never hurt anybody. And that was the thing. Even though you make it look great in the ring, you try and you have this partnership with the other person to keep them safe. You guys all have families. Y'all want to go home to them.
Yeah,
Yes.
I hurt a guy once pretty bad. And this was my very early years. And basically, in a nutshell, during the match, I was supposed to have him catch my foot and do what is called an enziguri. It's basically someone catches your one foot and you kick him in the head with the other foot.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right.
Okay, it's called enziguri.
Yeah.
But what happened was he wasn't there to post. He wasn't ready for it. So I ended up having to do this kick on my own. Now, let's say something here. I've been studying martial arts since I was a kid. All right? So I was taught how to do leg hip power. So I ended up giving I had to basically lift, twist my hip, and connect. And I caught him in the sweet spot in the back of his head, gave him a grade 2 concussion. Whew. I felt horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I felt horrible once I knew how bad he was hurt. I really did. I felt incredibly horrible. I even went to the hospital. I wanted to check up on him. I felt guilty as hell because I'm like, it was an accident, but it was still one of those things where I still felt horrible because I hurt somebody in the ring. Even though I wasn't intentionally in there trying to do it. There was one guy at the time who was one of the owner figureheads, like, you tried to hurt him for real. I'm like, no, I would never have done that. And, and I would check up on the guy constantly. Even when he was discharged, I would check up on him every week just to see how he was doing. It was getting to the point where he was getting mad that I was checking up on him. He was getting mad.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah, he was getting mad, and then he told other people of the higher-ups, you need to stop calling him. I was just checking to make sure he was okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, fine, I won't fucking call him anymore. I won't even talk about him anymore. I won't even, until, like, it's just one of those things that it sucks. But it was one of those things that when it happened, I learned, okay, no matter what I'm doing in here, I have to be 100% safe. I have to be as perfect as I can be in the ring. Not a perfectionist, but perfect. On how I protect myself and to protect the person I face in the ring. And we all have, any guy who's been in this industry will know that there are some times that this stuff happens and it's accidental. There are some guys who are just dicks who come into the ring, I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy, and that'll help get me over. And then go talk to the guy over there and say, what do you think? What do you think? You think I can get a spot in the WWE? I just beat the shit out of this guy. I didn't do anything except kick the shit out of him, not sell or anything or take any moves. I just kicked the shit out of this guy. Give me a contract.
Well, here's the thing. Usually those guys don't get a position in WWE because they are unsafe. And you look at independent wrestlers like New Jack, who was an ECW. Now, New Jack was a guy who was a very violent, volatile wrestler. And his whole gimmick was, well, he was legitimately psychotic, and he would just beat the shit out of people.
You're also forgetting the one fact that before he was a professional wrestler, he was also a bounty hunter with 4 justifiable homicides.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that part. Good point.
Whoops.
Yeah, add some context. That's why we have you.
I added context because I think you're in the ring with that guy. You're like, yes, sir. Please don't kill me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was also on that documentary Beyond the Mat also.
Yes, which he brought up at that time frame. What's really cool, if you do find that documentary, find it on DVD, the special edition one, because it has a luncheon with the director of Beyond the Mat, but he also has Mick Foley and Jesse Ventura. on there having this lunch, and they're breaking down stuff about the business. And Ventura could not have said it any better about how guys are resilient all of a sudden. You mean, this is ridiculous how people are kicking out of moves, out of these finishers, and all these different stuff. Like, they do these devastating moves and they kick out. Like, oh, they're more resilient now. No, it's just there's no room for for correction or protection, and guys want to be like, I'm a badass. A guy jumping up the top rope and dropping an elbow on me. Oh, that didn't hurt at all. I could get up and fight. It's the whole psychology of the business that is ignored all of a sudden. And it was a very cool, realistic point of view from Jesse Ventura. And it was also one of the other things too, was like him and Ricky Steamboat were guys who they didn't go out and party. They wrestled and they went home or went to the hotel room where their families were. And that's another thing about this business is the partying.
Yes, let's get into that.
Yes, that's why. I love how he's pulling up New Jack. And he's like, I want to know more about this guy.
I want to know about this.
This guy's. Yeah, this guy.
Since you're looking
at
New
Psycho,
Jack,
I'm like, all right, you got my
mass
fucking
transit
interest.
incident. Yes. Now, just a quick run through. So there was an ECW show. There was this wrestler who lied about his age, and he wanted to gimmick mass transit. So he was doing a tag match with New Jack, and there was a spot where they were supposed to be in color. Color means like someone gets gigged or bladed in the head. Cuts it in the forehead. Yeah. So he asked New Jack if he can, cut because he's never cut himself before. Okay. New Jack cut so deep that he was bleeding buckets.
You want a lobotomy? No problem.
Yeah. And this was a huge incident for ECW too, because there was lawsuits and all. Well, one, he was technically a minor at the time. Or
where's the fucking pictures of this?
You can look it up, like New Jack mass transit incident. You can find images.
So this is the part where we need to have a camera in here, like video camera recording, like what we're doing.
We have two, but
yeah,
we're working on it. See, they're right there, but I'm still working on the capabilities.
Look at this fucking guy on the far right hand side.
Yeah,
his fucking dude.
What is?
Jesus.
Yeah, that was the guy who tried wrestling. But yeah, you can find images. You can probably find
all right. Well, definitely want to make a point here because you're bringing up a very valid situation, and I do want to talk about this because people really. This guy, was he Boss Man ripoff? What the hell?
Basically.
Okay. This is something I definitely want to address right now before we start talking about the party.
Boss Man.
Yes.
Did he kill a dog or something?
What?
Didn't Boss Man kill a dog or something?
In storyline.
In storyline, but not for real.
In the late
You're also
90s.
forgetting there was also a necrophilia gimmick with Triple H involving a storyline against Kane. So yeah, and that's where they realized. That's when we realized. That's when WWE realized. Oops, we went too far.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Fucking dead bodies and shit.
Yeah, but okay, this is a perfect example. What we were talking about here with this transit situation is that there'll be people who think that you just have to call yourself a wrestler and you get in the ring and all of a sudden, oh, I'm a wrestler now. No, you actually have to go through training. You have to go through a training school. You have to do all this different stuff. Just because you saw something on TV, you could be a wrestler. No, that's not how it works.
Why is this guy's forehead
like
a super dry elbow?
So he's looking at pictures of New Jack, and here's why. Because those are gig marks. When guys cut their forehead, they do it over and over again.
You never seen The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
Oh, I have.
Okay, then you see the whole thing with the gigger, the blade.
Yeah.
That's from multiple times of people doing that.
Okay.
And if you look really close, a lot of older wrestlers have that.
Yeah, a lot of older wrestlers do. There are guys, you look at a package of ground hamburger, that's what their heads look like.
Dude.
I know it's a terrible visual, but it's the truth.
Like,
well, to some people it is.
Fucking forehead, bro.
It's meant to progress a story if it's done right. But some people make it part of their mantra.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I can't remember who it was. I think there was like a Hell in the Cell or something like that where you visibly, they accidentally caught him cutting his forehead. He's laying down and then you see him take out the blade and then you see him cut his fucking forehead and then all this blood's coming out and he gets up and he's like, oh, but they clearly fucked up. Like the camera guy's like, oh shit. Well, I don't have a job anymore.
I've bladed once.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that they didn't catch it in
once
post production.
I bladed once.
Really?
Once. I have this scar right here on my forehead. I bladed once.
And that's from one time.
One time. And I cut it, and I cut a vein right here, and blood was spurting out like a fountain. It was going psh, psh, psh,
God damn.
And I was just like, okay, that's great. Fantastic. And then like the one hardcore wrestler, there was a group, oh, he's looking good. He's got a lot of color. He's just bleeding a lot though. I'm like, yeah, fantastic. I get to the back and I'm like, my hands are covered in blood. I get a paper towel. Everybody's panically running around, freaking out. And I'm just like, could somebody please give me more paper towels? And some ointment.
They didn't even get him
No.
a real
Maybe,
fucking towel.
Pepsi,
They got him a
'cause my
fucking
blood
paper
sugar's
towel.
Yeah, I actually still had to wrestle. I had to
my
do a
God.
bit of wrestling later on with a bandage on my head, and it was one of those things where it's like I did this once, just so I said I did it,
Yeah.
you know. And
Now, did the other wrestlers know you were gonna blade before that?
Yeah, it was whole set up that way.
Okay.
I mean, I had the gigger hidden and everything. Yes. I did it to myself, but. But it's like, you know, wrestler blading.
I'm looking it up, dude.
You're actually seeing the times where guys have bladed.
Yeah,
So,
we're looking up blading for. Look at that fucking
One,
dude.
one,
That
two,
way.
right there.
What?
Yeah.
Happened to this guy's forehead, man.
Oh, that's a lot of bleeding. That's what
He looks
that's
like an
Wow.
oak tree. Like that's an oak tree texture.
Well, if you're also caught, if you caught the right sweet spot on your head and everything like that, there's also other things too. There are steps that help make the blood flow go a lot easier. Some guys take aspirin for about a week
to thin the blood.
to thin the blood, so the blood will just flow.
Yeah, that's fucking healthy.
Yeah. Well, welcome to people who love this business so much that they're willing to bleed for it legit.
Now, somebody handsome like Ric Flair, you wouldn't think that he would blade. But
He does.
Blade all the
now,
goddamn time.
that's what I'm saying. As you look at him now,
Well, look-
you can
okay,
see
yeah,
he
his
has
fucking
because of his
forehead
scar
was always-
tissue.
Look at the top 8 ugliest foreheads in professional wrestling. Jesus.
Look at this fucking dude.
Yeah, there's so many, like, these guys have done this so much to themselves, but it's to tell a story in their eyes. This is how they do it. Look at that one guy right there. Looks like a brain, like his brain's
Dude, it looks like
Yeah.
Bobby Lee, but like
Bobby
fucked
Lee.
up.
With, yeah,
Like Bobby Lee said too racial of a joke that day.
You know
and
what
got
he
the
looks like? He
shit
looks
kicked
like
out
Bobby
of him.
Lee. He looks like Bobby Lee combined with that one video where
we're actually looking at a lot of pictures and stuff of wrestlers who have bladed, in case
Who
anybody's
is this
wondering.
guy? Who is this
I
guy?
have no
I
idea.
have
who
no
that
idea.
guy
That's
is.
I don't
I
know.
don't know, but I mean, because let's not get lost in this because we're gonna
Yeah.
talk to a bunch of
Yeah.
people that are listening to this, so we can't get trapped in this. But I mean, if you look up, what would you put in wrestler blading? You'll see all the different things online here of all wrestlers who have consistently have what we call in the business gigging, like cutting themselves. Okay, and you set the blade and stuff like that. I remember this whole thing with Bill Alfonso. He was doing a bit in the early years of the company I was a part of, and he did a thing with a hypodermic needle and was poking his head with a hypodermic needle.
Fucking shit.
But then he
dude.
put like petroleum jelly right here, and then like put his hat on, and then came the bit. He just does this and puts some pressure, and he starts bleeding from the head. It was
Smart.
but
Yeah,
still
makes
like
sense.
Jesus.
Fucking
it's
come on,
gratuitous, yeah.
man.
That one right there, scroll back down, fourth pitcher in. That was Eddie Guerrero catching. He caught a certain vein, and it just his blood just was leaking.
Oh,
like
dude,
a
Eddie Guerrero.
fountain.
Yeah, I used to love that dude.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
awesome.
shit.
He was a great guy.
I think he
Gone
severed
too
an
early.
artery that day.
Way too early.
Yeah, what did he die from? I
Heart
can't
attack.
remember. Ah, okay.
Well, if you look up pictures of how he looked in his early years to how he was physically, you can tell that there might have been some help along the way. So
Now, do you think nowadays, with the WWE as comparison as to the wrestling that we might have grew up in on the 80s and 90s, do you think there's any less bloodlust? Like crowds wanting to see blood more?
well, you got to remember too, like there's a niche market, a niche market with this stuff. There, like when ECW was out there, there was a collective of fans who just want violence, blood, and disgusting, violent matches. There will be fans who just want regular standard matches, from in WWE. Yeah. They provided different things. There is a certain market of fans, just like this. When there's companies out there that are very much move orientated, like Ring of Honor, it's all about moves, showing off the most craziest of moves possible, just crazy
Rey
flips.
Mysterio Jr. That was my dude.
Crazy flips and all this different stuff like that. When that comes into play, oh God,
Dude.
All right, yeah,
He was a corny motherfucker, but I loved him.
he's a very talented wrestler.
Yes,
Managed to
but-
stick into it for a long time.
But all this Tell me that's not corny as fuck. What's
It's
going
luchador
on?
stuff. You're talking luchador. This
Yeah.
mask
That's
and stuff.
tradition.
There's some cool luchador masks, and then there's some not cool luchador masks.
Well, he also does stuff that's very comic book related to all his outfits.
Oh.
But as I was saying, where were we at? Now I lost my train of
Oh
thought.
no, we're just talking about bloodlust.
Yeah,
and
that's what I
markets.
do.
There'll be but like I said, there are fans who want that, and there's fans who there's different subcultures to different what wrestling provides that people want. There are people that are in WWE fans that don't know about all these other promotions that are out there because that's just all they've been fed. But you're also talking about during the '80s when there used to be territories. Okay, there were regional areas, and WWF was still trying to raise the bar until Vince McMahon destroyed the territories, got rid of them all, because there was no longer like regional situations; it was now global.
Okay. I can get that. So, do you got any matches coming up soon, or
I am wrestling this Saturday over in is it Posen? I have to look it up. But I mean, yeah, I'm the heavyweight champion at this place. But
oh, that's awesome.
I'm facing
I
Marche.
figured we're
Marche
pretty far
Rocket.
into this, and I
How
haven't
far
even
into it?
asked you. You know what I mean?
No, it's
Like,
okay. I know, because I mean, yeah, I am wrestling this coming Saturday, and it's a title match. I'll be defending my title, but not as Jarod Priest though. I've been wrestling for the past year under a character that I created many years ago because I do all these different things and they keep me busy. I do stand up, as you know, but I also ever since I was 12 years old, I've worked in the haunted house industry. And I've been scaring the shit out of people for a very long time with that.
pretty fucking unique.
Yeah, and then there's a character I created that now a promoter decided, hey, bring this into wrestling. It's a Harlequin of Hell character, Zamiel the Dark Harlequin. And I've been doing that for over a year or so. And now because of that, you're actually going to look this up.
You got anything online that I can
Type in Zamiel, Zamiel, the Dark Harlequin. And see if it'll come up. I don't know.
How do I
EQUIN.
Fucking millennials.
Like, what the fuck is that? What is
That's
a
me right
Harlequin?
there.
I don't know what a word. What
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not.
That's right there in the top left. Right there, that's me. That's me off to the right. Yeah, that's the
Dude.
character. That's the chair. Someone made that for me. Right there with the Jarod Priest Zamiel poster right there. The caricature thing right there on the fourth one in.
There we go.
Someone made that
that's
for
pretty
me.
cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty badass picture. So so imagine how that looks. And this is the voice that goes with it, boys and girls. And
Should have just had you doing that voice for the whole podcast.
and I could do it too. I have no problems doing that. And just and yeah, there's even the match right down there where I actually won the title, right? Zamiel versus Jack Moody. And you were at that show,
Yes,
Kyle.
I was, yeah.
And the crowd went nuts when I won. And
Oh, that's pretty cool looking. You're all in black.
yeah.
Pretty,
In comparison to how
wasn't
when I used to wrestle, I have all these different colored tights and stuff. But yeah, I'll be defending the title and stuff like that. But this character, I've created this character like when I was 21 years old, and it has been like a part of me for so long. I've been in the haunt industry for 30 years. And scaring the shit out of people, it's been so much fun. And the fact that I brought it to wrestling is really cool. So
Now, being a champion, and even in the independent circle, tell the audience how important that is when you're decided to be a champion. It's not just something that they give to anyone.
when you become a champion, like in the wrestling world, I mean, fans-wise, it's great. He's the champion. He won. He beat the champion. He's the man, whatever. But in the locker room, your being a champion means that you are the one who's chosen to be the flagship of that division, and you have to represent that division. And a lot of people feel, ooh, now that I'm a heavyweight champion, I can just be lazy. No, you have to work twice as hard to in matches because you have to make sure that every opponent has the chance or has the opportunity to make it look like they can beat you. And that is very challenging to do because you have to show that why the people you're facing are a threat to you. And a lot of times, like a lot of champions don't do that. And they'll come in, kick some ass, and I don't have to do anything to make this guy look good. I'm the champ. Woo! No, you have to make it look like that these people have a chance to beat you. That's why, like, if you look at Ric Flair when he was a champion, anytime he fought somebody, it was believed that he could potentially lose against somebody. That was how great those matches were back then, and that's how it should be. You have to show, because you're trying to show that the roster is dangerous, and there's talented guys, and there's guys gunning for what you have, and all this different stuff. It's a responsibility, but it's an honor, but it's a lot of fucking work, and then people don't understand that. It's very difficult. You as a performer is one thing, but when you're a champion, you have to work twice as hard to show why you have that extra additive that makes you champion, but also you have to show in that aspect too how somebody could probably beat you and take that from you, and you have to show why you have that little extra to beat them.
But like you said, it's important because it's very important to be a champion because you're representing your federation, first of all. Second of all, you're making the other talent look good.
Exactly.
And making yourself looking good is almost secondary.
Exactly.
As is compared. And in terms of wrestling, I would assume there's not a lot of guys that are willing to do that.
Nope. Once they're at the top and they're at the pinnacle of the mountain, they're like, I don't have to do this. I'm the champion. I'm the champ. I should get this. I should get that. Bow down and suck my dick. You know, it's just
that's a match.
Their attitude is so bad, and it translates to stuff in the locker room, and it really pisses people off or rubs people the wrong way. And there's some people who are just cliques. That's, like I said, like it's partying and the cliques. The cliques are just bad because they'll be the worst people in the clique. And because they're a group, they can have a voice about something and it carries weight and they'll believe what's being told because if they have like an opinion about something, you know, and it was mainly a way of trying to keep themselves on top and shit on the other people in the industry that were in that fed. It was bullshit.
So we've touched on clicks and all that. That's just like one aspect as far as like the dark side of the industry. Mm-hmm. And here's the one thing I really wanted to get into is like, can we go into some of the grittier details?
What gritty are we talking here? Like how bad you want to buckle in and go off-roading here?
I want to go bad and buckle off-roading to the point where...
There's this one story you told me about one of the worst injuries you've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind divulging.
Okay. All right. There's this friend of mine. His name is Machine. That's his wrestler name. And he was wrestling in a match at our training school. We were running shows there, and then we do shows on the road. But we do shows at our training school. And everybody sees the wrestling ring. And sometimes they don't know how the configuration of a wrestling ring is, but when you hold a canvas down, a lot of times it can be two things. One, a rope that's wrapped around the railing system, or a pair of bungees that will hook and, you know, connect and keep the canvas down. Now, if you don't put the canvas hooks correctly, the situation I'm about to explain happened. During the match, Machine got thrown out of the ring, went low underneath the ropes. His arm caught a hook from the bungee. And he's not a small dude. This guy's 300 plus. Okay? And what happened was it hooked his arm so badly, it caused the skin on his arm to peel down. To below his, like it started at his bicep and went down below the elbow. He walks past us because there was an area of wrestlers. While the match was still going, he walks past. He says, "I'm done," and I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" I saw a trail of blood, and it cut so badly it wasn't even bleeding profusely. What happened was I finally got into the bathroom where he was with another wrestler, and he showed me his arm, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! You can actually, when you see those diagrams of people with the muscle fibers, they're spot on. That's exactly what they look like underneath our skin. Okay? We're talking, it's dangling down the skin. I'm grossed out. The other guy is trying not to puke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I have to be...
Not that bad.
Yeah.
Just don't pass out.
I'm like,
I'm getting sick fucking hearing about
yes,
it.
the
oh my God.
And I could not bitch out on this in the situation.
Makes me think of like frog legs. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. In this situation, though, I couldn't.
The frog. Oh god.
I couldn't bitch out on my friend, so I had to be there for him. I actually took a T-shirt, grabbed the wound, pushed the skin up.
No, you doing too fucking much.
I'm doing too much. You asked for this, fucker. I pushed the skin up to the point of the cut and then basically sutured it, to the arm. And he had to get staples and everything.
Oh wow.
So people think, that was not so bad when you saw like this guy break his leg right there in the middle of the match or anything like that. You try pushing up someone's skin back up to the point of a cut. I mean, I guarantee you right now, if Machine ends up listening to this, he'll laugh and think about those days. So,
well, we're on Google Images.
It's not going to be. No photos were taken.
I
know that for a fact.
Right?
No photos were taken.
It's 2019. It didn't happen unless there's a photo.
No. Tell that to Machine, okay? That guy will say. That guy will be like, "It did happen, fucker."
The scars.
He's got a big scar, and I will always remember that. And that's one of the things that made me and Machine like brothers after that, because I was willing to watch his back. If I was willing to go to that length to watch his back, he knew I was a good friend to have.
I mean, if you
likewise.
pushed the skin back on my arm, I would pretty much trust you for life.
Yeah, you're a bro automatically. Like you're
I would trust you more than
indoctrinated.
doctors.
You're indoctrinated. So, I mean, it was bad. I mean,
That makes me want to fucking pass out. Just like him.
I mean, imagine the people listening to this now. They're probably mortified.
All right, so let's get on to another topic. All right, so this is something that actually sparked my attention recently. Somebody brought this up, and I'm sure as a comic and a wrestler, you can fucking relate and maybe explain it to me. How would you compare wrestling and comedy?
Well, I mean, right now, even my matches are having a lot of comic elements now. Mm-hmm. I just do a lot of humorous things.
Performance-wise, and like I'm sure you guys were there when Skits, a local comic in our area, he started speaking about this, and I never thought of it that way. That it is wrestling is performance-based, and you got to work off of the crowd. And it's like something that you think might have been hitting.
Yeah. We all know comics.
Sometimes.
We all know comics who have like a gimmick. Mm-hmm. Like there's some that we know. Who's the one with the violin?
Kristen?
Kristen
Lindbergh?
She was a Chicago comic. Now I think she's moved out.
Now she's moved to LA, but Kristen Lindbergh did this whole thing with a violin, and then there's skits, and there's people who have like a persona.
Yeah.
Like Sharky, another guy, is a persona. Mm-hmm. That these people have a persona. That it's the same thing as a gimmick for a wrestler. I find that because of being in the ring and wrestling and stuff like that, getting on the mic and telling people jokes is cake.
Yeah.
I'm fighting other oiled up dudes in weird costumes. I have an energy that I bring to the stage when I perform, and it's the same energy I bring to the ring. Mm-hmm. And I get a lot of compliments about like my energy. And that's cool, but it's like if I'm not telling good jokes, it doesn't mean anything.
Good energy.
Well, thank you, sir. Namaste. But no, I mean, like it does apply. I had this conversation. Okay, and this is an honest conversation I had with Kevin Wood. We all know Kevin Wood. He's a very funny comic. He does radio out in Rockford. He's a radio morning DJ out in Rockford now. And I had a conversation because I was getting pissed about the comedy scene because the way my attitude is, unless you're like in a wrestler mentality, unless you're in the WWE, you're just like one of us. You were all regular people doing our own thing. There are some people in wrestling and in comedy who walk around like they're king shit of fuck mountain.
We've all seen them.
But yeah, I was getting mad about the scene because I don't like how some people think you can just talk to people a certain way, treat people a certain way. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of comics who are just, they're not confrontational. A lot of them are introverted. Some are extroverted. But, there are some people who will not stand up for themselves, because of the industry or anything. But the conversation I had with Kevin Wood is like he recognized, he heard my frustration about this. And I was telling him, I'm like, a part of me wants to be, because he brought up a very good point. This is a entertainment industry, okay, and that because of that, there's going to be these type of crap that exists where there'll be people acting like they're superior to others, and you have to be better than that. And I told him, like, I get that, but one side of my personality wants to turn the other cheek and dismiss it. The wrestler brain in me wants to powerbomb these motherfuckers through a table. And that's the absolute truth, that I have to battle with that all the time, because I actually want to go off on some of these guys, because they treat people poorly, and they think they're the funniest fucking people in the world. And in my opinion is, some of them aren't. And it does not warrant them to go ahead and treat people poorly and shit on other comics.
See, now when I was first starting out doing comedy, Kyle was actually the guy that brought me up on stage the first time
and
he was hosting that night.
I paid you.
Yeah.
I just gave you some breath mints after your
Yeah,
set.
breath mint or something made me walk up on stage and just take the breath mint right out of your hand like a fucking
You had to kiss the ring,
prostitute.
boy.
What was that, like
He's
a kung
get,
fu
get
moment
that
right
smell
there?
out of your mouth.
Is that
Here
a kung
you go.
fu? Is that a kung
First
fu
handshake
moment?
first.
If you could take the breath mint from my hand,
But
it's
why
time for you to leave.
why I'm bringing this up though is I mean Bert of course brought me to my first open mic and kind of showed me the ropes for a couple weeks actually. Let me bug you and just ask you like a million fucking questions.
And it didn't
when I
bug
was
me at
trying
all.
Yeah, but I can understand why, like, after you've been doing it for a while, like, answering certain questions like, well, how do you form this, and this, and this, and this? Maybe you like talking shop, but not everybody could be a fan. So, of course, I'm very grateful for how you helped me out. And why I'm bringing this shit up is you guys were so fucking cool from the beginning. We wouldn't even be having this podcast right now if you guys weren't who you are. You know what I mean? You aren't the kind of comics that he's talking about that, like, push people away the first time that you try to ask them a question or just try to talk shopping, like get to know them and shit. Which I'm sure you guys have ran into people where you're like, I'd like to set, maybe I could go bullshit with them. And then it's like you get the cold shoulder and it's like, because I don't know you in this neighborhood.
You were good,
You know what I
kid.
mean?
You were good.
Regardless
but
of
compared
how
to me,
your
you'll
set
always be
was.
second best, see?
I don't understand that kind of mentality. Like,
Well, there was one time, I don't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're good.
like we
I'm probably
just did-
rambling about bullshit that probably don't make sense.
We just did the open
puffing
mic
on a
over
G-pen.
in Josephine's. It was Brad Stupak's open mic. And they were just sitting there having a conversation because at that same time, Kyle and myself and another comic were running our own open mic. And the biggest thing...
Where around?
It was in the Chicago Ridge area. It was in the Chicago Ridge area. And then we would do live shows out in Plano. Like showcase shows.
Yeah, those were dark days.
Those were very dark days.
And let me mention to you
The
guys
dark
that these guys were doing the open mic, which is very hard to do. It's a lot harder than anyone would think. And then to do a showcase, not once a month, every fucking week in Plano, which is far from everything in
Not
Illinois.
easy.
So it
But-
wasn't easy for these two at all. But go
But
ahead.
yeah, the main reason why we started that mic in the first place was we were getting pissed off being in the city and having to deal with some of these mentality of some of these people that were treating comics poorly, pissing off comics that we were friends with. I got in there and I realized, you know what? Fuck this. I'll throw it back at them. And they left me alone. But and Kyle's seen it and stuff like that. We've seen comics that were hanging out with us that go off on the promoter or whatever of that event, and they're acting shocked and surprised. I'm like, well, you've created a den of assholes. That's what's gonna happen.
I feel like half of being a comic is just being a cool fucking person, a cool hang.
That's what it should be.
That's what it should be.
What it should be. You know what I mean? Like,
we're on stage. It's therapy
and
for us.
especially if you were to go on the road with another comic. I had to deal with this, like, being in bands. I had to be super selective about who the fuck I would want to go on the road with, because you got to deal with that. I haven't had to go on the road as a comic yet, but that's my plan in the future. And I would want to surround myself with somebody that's fucking cool, that I could just, a good hang. They could be an okay comic, and, maybe they'll be better than me, maybe I'll be better than them. Who the fuck knows? This is a hypothetical. But I'm saying, like, as long as they're cool as fuck, we'd have no fucking problems.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But we had this conversation after this mic with this one dude who was a Chicago comic. And we were just talking about, we wanted to create an environment. It was a safe environment for comics to come there without ridicule and without, mocking and stuff like that. And this guy looked at us
nobody's
going,
better for mocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What the fuck does that benefit other
Yeah,
than
and shit
whoever
on
the fuck's
somebody.
mocking is trying to build themselves up above somebody else.
right.
Bullies
But
got no room in this
but
fuck.
this guy basically said, so you're trying to say you fucking quit Chicago comedy and you couldn't do it anywhere else and couldn't hack it, so you had to do your own shit. And I looked at this
Christ.
dude. I was like, dude, I will throw you through a fence. That was my attitude. And I kept my cool, but I was mad because I'm thinking to myself, you're just basically one of those assholes that I've been talking about all this entire time. And I could have just put you out out to the pasture if I wanted to. But I let him run his mouth and just say what he had to say. But it was what solidified what we did. And then we caught this show. We had what was her name? Singleton.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what it was.
She opened for the
it was Bobby Lee.
For Bobby Lee. She opened for Bobby
and
Lee.
It was just a feature name, Jessica Michelle
Singleton, yeah. Jessica Michelle Singleton.
California comic.
We got a chance, yeah. After the show, we got a chance to talk to her, and we started talking about how we do this kind of. We have our own mic and stuff like that. And she's like, "That's a great idea. Yeah. That was great. You know, that's original. It's stepping outside the box." So we were getting verification or validation from a higher up in the comedy world. So we got validated right then and realized what we were doing was, yeah,
you know what I mean?
We were giving opportunities to comics to work, get stage time, work on the material, and help in what we can.
You know, that's really all it's all. I'm actually starting something myself downtown at the Juice Box with my buddy Dan and Chris. Shout out to you guys. It's we're still in the works of like getting our first show going and stuff, but it should be hopefully sometime in August. But yeah, we literally are just doing this ourselves just so we have more stage time guaranteed. On top, supplemental, on top of whatever the fuck other things that we're trying to do. Like lately I'm going through some dental shit, so I had to take some time away from mics and trying to book anything, but that's why the fuck not create your own opportunity? That's what Bird over here basically tried to do. And you're on what's the company that you
me and Rashad Clark do Exit Stage Left, but I have a recording that I want to start. I want to do at least 40 minutes to an hour recording that I'm gonna do in April that I have set up. I have some other mics that I have set up too. So just trying to get together, trying to create your own opportunity so you can get stage time. But you almost have to make your own now.
Yeah, but that's the benefit of like running your own mic is that you get the stage time and you learn how to enhance your craft, and in the same time you're helping other comics along the way too. Exactly. You're providing a service, but it's also it gives back, in that aspect. Exactly. Kyle, I mean, like you and I, we both know how we were when we first started.
Oh yeah, I was shit.
Yeah, I and I was staring.
I sucked.
And I was staring at that shit like, yeah, I'm the same thing. Okay, but it taught us how to be better comics, And I last night I went to an open mic, and I'm not praising myself by no means, but you can tell when someone's green or someone's new, and how they're struggling through material. I'm up there. I've done this more times than I can count, and I got the crowd engaged. And I was very happy. I was very pleased, But it's just it depends on how you learn in the process of all this stuff. It all comes down to.
And everybody's different. And especially with technology and stuff. Like, I mean, now you can record your sets and cut all the fat out. I mean, that's my technique.
Depends on what you're going for. If you're going for like a promo clip, yeah, it's okay. But
No, I'm not meaning cutting it out for release. I'm saying that's how you can learn your set over a period of time. You can go up to a mic, throw a fucking recorder on, put it in your pocket, listen to your set, and go, that didn't hit too hard. That hit hard. Cut all the fat away, and then after about 3 of those sets, you got a pretty fucking solid set right there. But imagine how it was back in the day. You just had to write some shit down, go up there with your notes. It
was a combination of chance and luck. That's what it comes down to. It was a combination of chance and luck.
And being lucky enough to have enough people there to actually listen to your fucking jokes.
Yes. And other than just comics.
Oh, God.
And I think back then, too, you had to be more organically funny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Than you are now. You didn't have many things to look from.
But it's another thing, too.
Now you got a fucking computer in your hand at all.
Yeah. People in the city were...
unlimited research.
Yeah, people in the city were too goddamn serious. If you're a comic and you're in a room with other comics... If something's funny, laugh at it.
Laugh.
Don't be sitting there going, I got to work on my material. I'm not going to focus on any other people. Blah, blah, blah. It's a supportive environment. You're supposed to be supportive. Not sitting there going, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to give them the validation.
Well, I don't think it's really just malicious. I think it's just that comics, a lot of them are just so
caught up in what they're doing.
Yeah, they're really just full of themselves. I mean, I don't mean that in the way to diss on a lot of them. Not a lot of them are like that, but there are some that are like that without even them realizing it.
The fact that it's on a level we're all in the same playing field. We're all the same.
If one of us makes it, all of us rise up together.
Right.
Well, and also, too, there's no
infinite
industry
room
in
at the top.
Chicago. I mean, there's opportunities in Chicago to perform, and you can start up shows.
Oh, yeah.
But let's be honest, for industry, you don't have that.
It's
if you
LA or
want
New York.
industry, you're going to have to go to the coast. You're going to have to go to L.A., New York, because that's where those network industry
I heard
opportunities are.
Nashville's starting to fucking build up,
But
too.
but Chicago is
who
the
fuck wants
place.
to do that?
But Chicago is the place to cut your teeth.
It
get
is
your-
the place to
yeah,
cut
it
your
is.
teeth,
Yeah.
absolutely. But look at all the famous Chicago comics, the ones who dub themselves to be Chicago comics. You know, you look at Hannibal Buress, you look at
John
someone
Mulaney.
like, I don't know, like Bernie Mac, or you look at someone like
You even said John Mulaney,
John
which is a
Mulaney.
good
Mulaney.
reference.
Except John Mulaney was from Chicago, but he got started in New York. So
Oh,
that's-
really?
So that has an asterisk.
True. Yeah. Do you know what?
Sebastian Maniscalco is like a lot of those
He's a
comics.
Chicago comic,
Yeah,
ain't he?
he's from Arlington Heights.
Ah.
But the thing is, a lot of those comics were from Chicago. They got started there, but there was one common thread: they left,
Well, there's a lot of
and that's
saturation.
when they
Yeah.
well, in Chicago too, like there's a lot of saturation, but there's a point where you're kind of a big fish in a small pond,
Mm-hmm.
and you can only get so far with it.
Yeah, but then there's the whole thing with your material is what will help ascend you.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you have good
Yeah,
material,
nobody does it for you. If
Yeah.
you're making it, it's for a fucking reason. It's not
Well-
just your face.
the whole thing we talked about with politics with wrestling, there's
Politics
politics in
and
comedy.
comedy.
Of course.
Yeah.
You'll be like, whose dick did this person suck to get here? You know, because this guy, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
there'll be somebody I'd be like, really? This guy is showcasing?
Well, I'm sure we've all seen specials where we're like, this isn't special.
Yeah.
Fuck is
I
happening
love that.
here?
This isn't special.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people who are
God.
like, and how did this person get to this spot? You know, like I said, I am open-minded. When I hear somebody's material and they're funny, I will laugh at it if it's funny. Now, if it's not funny, I'm not going to respond. Obviously, and it's funny, haha or no haha. You know, I mean, it's being supportive of each other. It's because there's such thing. Yeah, you have to learn how to fail, but you also have to learn how to succeed, and those are all the different things and elements with it. But you have to have that fair ground to stand on, just like everybody else. You know, and that's what bothers me a lot with a lot of the comedy. But I mean, now it's not so much. It doesn't bother me so much. Now when I'm up on stage, I do my shit, and nobody questions it. Nobody fucks with it, and I'm happy about that because I have to be unapologetic.
Well,
you
paid
have
your
to be
dues.
unapologetic.
You've been
this
in the
business.
area. You know, I'm sure, as an outsider, regardless of how good you are, whenever you show up to a new mic and say these people have like a regular spot, that's their spot, and they don't fucking know you. You can't blame them for being a little like, who the fuck is this guy? But in comedy, it's like, that's what it should be about, is like just fucking laughing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
almost have to put yourself in a vacuum to make yourself better also.
Right,
And what
but
I
it's-
mean by that in terms of you have to focus on your own material, even if you're not getting feedback and you're not at open mics. At least when you have the opportunity to regular shows, look at the real people, the real audience instead of the comedians, because doing
If
open
there are
mics
any.
totally
Yeah,
different.
if
Yeah,
there
exactly.
are any.
There's
yeah.
a
There's the two or
major-
Who
three
wants to
that's
go
in
to
the
an open
audience.
mic though? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but-
blame you. Don't go to an open mic.
Yeah,
Like,
there has to
I
be
don't
a-
even want to go to an open mic, and I'm fucking performing there.
Yeah, there has to be a meritocracy. You have to earn your spot. You have to earn your bones, earn your spot. You know, earn your place.
And oftentimes in the entertainment industry,
create
it's
your own
not
opportunity.
really a
Exactly.
meritocracy.
But don't create your own opportunity unless you deserve that.
Right.
Because, well, you'll be weeded out very fucking
Oh
quickly.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, kind of like Steve Martin said, make sure you're good enough where everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
So they can't, deny who you
I mean,
are.
What they say, be undeniable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Undeniable.
and then when you go to a mic and nobody knows who you are, or some people do know, and you listen to some people talk, who are new guys or new people in the industry or in the industry, let them talk and hear what they have to say. Like, I've been in it for a few months and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And unless they ask me that question about how long I've been in, I don't give them an answer until they ask me, and then I watch them perform, and then I'll go up and do my shit, and then, then it's the line is drawn.
Yeah.
That's the dividing line. You go out there and do your part and get people laughing. You show that you are professional. I mean, that's a calling card to so many. It registers with a lot of people. So yeah.
I think the
Well, if
ultimate
you're
respect
taking your craft
is,
seriously, I mean, who the fuck can talk shit to you?
and I think the ultimate respect is when you
Respect.
go to an open mic and someone goes, "Hey man, that was some good shit," and they don't know you. That's
Yeah.
the ultimate respect. That's okay. I'm doing something good,
Especially at a
because-
mic, too.
Yeah.
Because
I've
nobody
actually-
gives a fuck at a mic.
Right. Well, no, I've actually had it where like the promoter is like, "Yeah, I gave you some more time, man, because you were killing it." And I'm like, "Cool." I'm like,
I dig it.
great, you know. But I mean, that was awesome that happened. But I mean, I don't want preferential treatment.
No.
You know, I don't want that. But if because I was doing a good job, that's cool that they kept me going. But that took years to get to that point, though.
Okay, so let me share with you two of my best compliments I've received while doing comedy. One,
given to Kyle Allen.
I really like that ass.
this compliment was given to
That's
me
all
after
right,
I did a set.
I really
And-
love that ass.
Well, this after I did.
does his dick hang?
All right.
All
It's
right.
like he injected Botox into his balls. They're so smooth.
All right.
I
So,
haven't gotten that level yet. Working there though.
so this is what comics do. They razz at each other, everybody,
All
in
right,
case
so,
you're wondering.
yeah.
But okay, Kyle, go ahead, sir. You have the floor.
Fucking
sir.
assholes.
Yes. I don't deny that. I have accepted my fate. All right, go ahead.
All right. So after I did a set, this person came up to me and said, and no joke, this is just exactly how I said, "Hey, great set. Are you using this chair?"
Compliment to Kyle Allen 1. Compliment to Kyle Allen number 2.
And the second one, and this was over a message, and someone just simply messaged, and I'm just saying verbatim, this is how they said, "You are really funny and charming, but not in a faggy way."
Oh my god.
I need to
was
put that
two
on my
compliments given to
website.
Should be on your Wikipedia. It was once said that
Right.
That
he is very
technically,
funny,
that's headstone
but not in
material
a
right
faggy
there.
way.
He was funny, but not in a faggy
Faggy
way.
Now, don't get me wrong, people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the quote-unquote faggy way. That was just how they described me. That was the comment. It's like, once you are confident with something like that, you can't forget it.
Now, how do you read that? What voice do you read that in? It's like, you were really funny, but like not in a faggy way, right?
Well, yeah, I'm guessing so. Like maybe like a Joe Pesci way or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What material were you doing that night? You know?
I
Holy
guess not.
shit.
I like that part which you mentioned something about your dick. That was nice.
That was me.
Not in a faggy way, though.
Not in a
Not in
faggy
somebody's
way.
butt.
No
but I like
homo.
your dick in general.
We're going to get removed from iTunes with all these F-bombs here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta. Okay.
It's all a
Step
joke,
away.
of course. You know, just. But yeah, that was a legitimate comment that I got. So,
What a compliment.
I
How do you
think
walk
that-
away from that going, thanks? You know?
That person, whoever said that, has major issues.
well, yeah, I don't want to go into.
You don't
I think
have
that
to.
that's how he
but
gives
there
all
were
his
some issues,
compliments.
definitely.
Like, even to his girlfriend, he's like, I love your cooking, but like not in a faggy way.
Yeah. I'll take compliments
Or
from
your
people
peanut
who
butter
like my
jelly sandwich
comedy
making.
any day
Yeah.
over comparison to the wrestling fans who give me compliments because dear fucking God, that runs the spectrum of fans who come up and say hi. Okay, there are some weird ass fans, but there are parts in the right place. But there's some creepy ass fans.
Can I smell your neck?
I was wondering how much you sell on those tights for, man.
Is it okay if I
technically
run
you
my
can have
index
a-
finger behind your left ear?
I have a gift for you, Jarod Priest.
I like that
okay.
small package, but not in the.
I mean, there are fans that are cool, and there are fans that are just like they're just too possessive of you. You know, they'll give you gifts and stuff like that, and
what type of gifts?
they would be like Christmas gifts. You know, like they'll make something for you.
Were they sticky?
No, they were not
That's
sticky.
nice.
Thank God. No photos were included in those gifts as well. May I add?
Okay.
But
That you'll
I
um,
just
tell
think
us
that's
about?
super nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's super nice, but it's because they're thirsty for wrestler dick. So and they want to get it.
Oh, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Are
Seriously?
they called ring rats?
Seriously? Yeah.
ring
Thank you.
rats?
He's not even in the industry, and he knows what a ring rat is.
Right, all right.
I
just
didn't think
guessed.
that was
I
a
just
thing
guessed.
in the. Now,
Now,
this
those
is
are
gonna
wrestling
sound
groupies,
bad,
in case you're wondering what that is for ring rats.
and people are gonna kill me for it. I didn't think that was a thing.
What
in
are
independence.
comics?
Are you fucking
hilarity
kidding me?
hoes?
I didn't know.
Actually, Bryce
Ha
has a
ha
term for that.
hoes.
What is it?
The comedy version of a groupie. What was your term that you created for it?
It wasn't created. It existed. It's in comedy. They're called chuckles.
Oh, chuckle fuckers.
Chuckle fuckers.
Chuckles.
Yeah,
They're
fuckers.
called chuckles. I didn't make that up. That's been in the industry.
Like ha ha hoes or.
Ha ha. Yeah, but chuckles is the best.
I've heard that. I did not know that was in the independent industry.
Are you serious?
I really didn't. I'm not even trying. to
Okay,
front.
all right. I'm going to put to school because we drifted from this subject.
I
now,
love wrestling,
now
but
we've
I
been
didn't
brought back about the partying lifestyle of professional wrestling.
Yes.
Okay, now let's get something clear here. Okay, a lot of people live this gimmick too damn much, or live this industry way too much that they think that are actually in the WWE. Therefore, hence they must party like they're in the WWE. They party, drugs, sex, everything. I was at one house, some dudes were running around with just a tube sock on their dick. Okay. Firing fireworks out of their asses, because this is what professional wrestlers in the industry do.
Were you in Indiana?
No, dude, no.
This is Indiana, right?
No. But I think they crossed the Indiana border to bring fireworks back to Florida.
Okay, so
But-
Indiana.
But there'll be situations where a girl who was a wrestler's boyfriend would be fucking a wrestler upstairs. Another wrestler.
Turnbuckle fucker.
Yeah, turnbuckle fucking ring rat. And then the boyfriend would walk in and cause a big giant upheaval.
And would they wrestle?
Yeah, luckily they didn't, thank God. But it's one of those things where everybody thinks they can live this lifestyle, and because the wrestlers in WWE do it, therefore I should do it.
So they're infatuated with the lifestyle.
Yes, the lifestyle
Okay.
they're infatuated with, and therefore they have to live like that.
No shit.
There are some people who live their gimmick 24/7. Like
Flair.
nonstop. There's guys
Yeah.
even on the industry. I'm not
That's
even going to
weird.
say this guy's name for the sake of you guys not getting sued. Okay, but there's a guy on the industry who you drop his name, he'll want money for it and sue you for even mentioning his name.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do it. But he completely lives his gimmick 24/7, dresses like his character in the wrestling ring and everything in real life.
He's like
I
a
mean,
Dice Clay, kinda.
Kinda. But I'm just gonna. It's just. This lifestyle it's sad because there's a lot of people I've seen who've let drugs ruin their lives. They were very talented wrestlers on the independent level who could have gone up and above. There was this girl that I knew who, in my opinion, would have fit in well with the way women's wrestling is nowadays. But she was just had the unfortunate mistake of being in the industry where it was not at its peak, where women's wrestling was at its peak, and she let drugs get in her way and just ruin her career. And there's a lot of people who have done that, and there's people who've in this industry can get you so much. There's people who've killed themselves. There's people who've been pill poppers, or they're so messed up, like for being in the business for so short, they cannot function normally because of all their injuries, because they didn't wrestle smart and they partied recklessly and they did bad things to themselves and didn't take care of themselves.
Now, why do we see this so much, especially in wrestling? I remember I was watching a pay-per-view recently, and I don't think it was in the very old pay-per-view, maybe about 15 years. And I would say 66% of the wrestlers who were in that pay-per-view are not with us anymore. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I would say easily more than 66% of it.
Are we having a power outage
I
right
hope
now?
we're not having a power
We
outage.
could because of the weather.
We are
being so
rocking
hot.
this shit. This is awesome time. I'm having a
Fuck,
blast.
man. I've never seen my Furman just...
Everything.
the fuck out
Give everybody
like that.
context. The power started flickering in here. We're trying to be storytellers.
Okay, all right, here, we're going to pause really quick just to save.
From continuing
You shall not do this podcast any further.
in a faggy way.
Says God. Welcome back, everybody.
And we're back.
We're back.
And
After
we're
the
back.
destruction of the world, with only fucking 4 people that made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you
Us
said
and the fucking cat.
Yeah, a massive storm just hit, and it just looked like the sky opened up, and God must have had a really big keg before he started and just pissed on everybody.
well, that's just life in Mantino.
Exactly. We're in
The rest of the
Tornado
world was
Alley.
just fine.
it was a struggle in Mantino.
If no one knows what Mantino is, well, you're not the first one.
A deadly storm struck
No offense, Joe.
I fucking hate it here. You don't have to
Babies
tell
were
me.
made.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
It's
so.
a daily conversation with my girlfriend.
You
saying,
guys
"I
got a
hate
brewery,
this
a fucking
place."
McDonald's, a Wendy's. How in the hell could you hate
It's moving
Vietnam?
on up. Oh my god.
You got
They got a
John's.
Wendy's and a McDonald's and
There's condos and trailers.
you could get Dunkin' Donuts.
There's
You
a
know what?
Harley
I had that
Davidson
before
shop.
I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Coffee
Harley
was-
Davidson shop. There's a
Ooh,
mild
it is
racism sprinkled on most conversations.
just this dash
Yeah,
of
just
I mean,
a
when you
dash
got a
of
Harley
racism.
Davidson shop, that mild racism is to be expected.
Yeah, so it's like, good morning. Yeah, if you're not the Chinese.
come drop off my Harley. I don't want to deal with. Hey, to make sure it's no Mexican working on this. American made, man.
Exactly.
This is like Midwestern paradise.
Dude, they make Confederate flags here.
Oh God.
The factory is under Mantino.
Well,
it's not
it-
above ground.
Look,
'cause
I mean,
Oh, you're talking about the diversity
that's how
Yeah.
real racism is birthed. It's behind closed doors because it's created out of cowardice.
look, I don't endorse Confederate flags, but think about it. Think about how easy those flags are easier to make than regular flags. You got all those stars and shit in our
Right?
flag. Confederates are like, yeah, just put a fucking X. Put some stars. Not all of them. Just put some for decorating
Just put
purposes.
some.
There we go. That's America I want to be in.
Confederate flags serve a definite purpose. At least we know who the fuck lost.
Right?
Could you imagine it's like those kids in Africa wearing those second place shirts from every major sporting competition?
Oh my.
So basically, having a Confederate flag is no different than still having a Field of Burns bumper sticker.
Pretty much, or wearing a Bulls jersey, either or.
I feel
Radio
like we've
silence.
crossed the line. With the Bulls jersey. All the other shit, the Bulls jersey. That's what.
Not exactly
Like, oh,
pro
not
Mantino
cool.
around here though. Pro Mantino. Not exactly a place you want to move to, I guess.
No.
But
Right.
I don't know. I don't hate man.
Mantino, where you have to drive an hour and a half to get to anything.
I don't hate man.
Mantino, where
fucking hate
racism
it.
is in its shadows.
You know what? I remember, and I'm a little bit older than you guys. Mantino used to be the fucking party place, man. We used to have this place called Papa's Pub, and every Thursday, everybody,
What?
every race and everything would wild out.
Oh, for a moment there, I'm glad you got specific with the whole every race part because when you said there was a party Mantino, I was thinking like Crossbreeds or something.
Jesus.
I've got
Bobby
no-
Joe, Joey Bill, Billy Sue, Suey Bill. All of them were
Guys
there.
gotta remember, Joe's gotta live here, man. He's gotta go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Not for much
still.
longer, man.
I got no skin in this game. None.
Yeah.
So I'm
Joe
stepping
still
out.
Yeah,
gotta
we're-
live here. I
we're
gotta
looking
still
on-
eat at Burcott's.
We're trying to find a better place more up north towards Chicago, where fucking life is. And so we can actually have some more guests and bring, more entertainment to you fucks. Because it's a little difficult to have somebody drive out here.
Now we're taking out
anyone
the
listening
audience.
Yeah.
because
They don't know
that's
what
just
the fuck
professional.
Mantino's
Well, if you're
is.
listening by now, this is pretty far into it. You probably have some issues.
You're probably invested about. You're like, I don't know what these guys are saying. I'm angry, but I want to hear what they say next. That's kind of like how
The truth is, nothing.
we were on quite a roll. I'll give you that much. We were talking a lot, and then the storm hit, and we had to pause, and we decided to try to recollect or should I say, recover things. Like you had to get your plant out, your chairs out from the patio.
we had to get the
Yeah.
bottle of sake.
We
Yeah.
broke open sake.
We had to put the
sake.
sake in our mouths. We had to
Yes,
suck
and-
on the sake.
Hence, you're still drinking sake. I went through mine.
'cause I'm a
It was
classy
2 days
bitch.
ago. I've never. Yeah, you are classy. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I
man.
knew I could only have one cup full. Sake is too smooth and too delicious. And I still have to
It is
drive
good.
home.
It's weird. It makes me think of watered down seltzer with vodka,
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I agree with that.
right? Like where,
Yeah, that's fair.
because there's only so much seltzer that I can deal with, and like if I ask for a vodka Sprite and you bring me fucking seltzer and then get angry when I tell you that you gave me seltzer,
Well, didn't you do that
Which happened- it happened at a mic
open
recently.
mic when we went to Mojo's?
no, not there. I'm not gonna name the place because I
I'll
like
fucking
going
name
there. But motherfucker, she gave me such an attitude about it. And who the fuck asked for like vodka seltzer? Like, yeah, just let me. Why are you pouring that in your mouth? Like, don't you have more respect for yourself? Like
so
vodka
funny.
seltzer, that's two things that are just horrible.
I mean, you've had like vodka gimlet, right?
No.
What's that?
That's vodka with lime juice.
Oh, well, that would be good.
That
it
would
has
make sense.
flavor that tastes good and then
Yeah.
flavor that tastes good. Why would you put shit water in with vodka? Like, that's what I'm like.
I love the
that
fact
be-
how you
wouldn't
guys are
Seltzer
just.
is so bad.
Wouldn't
I'm
be
going on a
seltzer-
rant
wouldn't-
again,
wouldn't
guys.
that apply
Keep
with
that-
gin? Wouldn't
I
that
love how
apply
you
with
guys
gin,
are just
though?
rationalizing your
said what?
Gin and
alcoholism.
tonic kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of gin.
Yeah.
I'm not
Gin
a
and
fan.
tonic?
I'm-
No.
That's for
Depends
dry
on the
guys.
gin.
That's for guys that masturbate with no lotion.
Well,
Just furious. God damn
They're just like, I gotta get it out. Get the poison out.
That's a skill, by the way.
I'm not
Take
a
some
fan
sap out of this tree, damn it.
Yeah, how
not
do
a
you
fan of
avoid the
gin,
rug burn, dude?
But however, I remember like one of my friends, he went to the liquor store, bought 2 tall boys of Steel Reserve, and then the cashier at the liquor store gave him a pint of Bombay Sapphire for free. It's like, well, you're fucking your liver up anyway. You might as well put the stamp on it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my.
You already got a
Send
suicide
that
vest
package
on,
to
bro.
send.
Yeah, you got the vest. I might as well point you in the direction.
You guys have like no regards for your livers at all.
Are you allowed to do suicide joke?
Oh god.
Oh,
Well, we're
speaking
gonna
of
find
that,
out.
we have the fucking king of suicide jokes right over here.
Yeah, anybody wanna monetize us?
Oh. Well, we gotta clean this up a bit then.
Well, let's put it this way.
If the goal was to make money, we wouldn't be in my room.
This is about appreciating art. We're artists.
We're not telling you when to
Come
do
on,
it.
Mr. Burns, give me a pitch.
What would you like to know?
I can't do it. I can't even do it with you.
You can't do it with me because I'm brilliant.
Wait, you gotta do the fingers.
Excellent.
Would you say you're indestructible?
Indestructible. No, my many years at a nuclear power plant has left me with a translucent glow. Okay, a translucent glow. But it's left me as impotent as a Nevada State boxing commissioner.
You got Three Stooges syndrome. All the bacteria can't fit in the door.
Yes, yeah, that's me doing. That's me, Jarod Priest, Bryce Friday doing voice impersonations. Gonna do them.
Speaking of racism, guys, silent racism. Papa John just gave me a 30% larger coupon for extra large 2-topping pizza.
Well,
How
that's
is
just
that
discrimination.
How is that? I thought you were gonna say
How
wings.
is-
I was
that's called
like,
rep-
God.
You haven't heard of the Papa John's?
No, I heard of the Papa John's thing, but
Scandal?
how could you turn pizza into racism?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
monster!
Pizza is happiness. Pizza is love.
Yeah,
Pizza is life.
Because I tell you,
Because one guy says one word in a conference call, that's all that makes
Yes.
pizza, all pizza
Yes,
racist.
and then he tries to give
But-
our reparations through pizza. We want more than fucking pizza. At least throw in some fucking wings in that bitch too. I want wings and land.
Look, guys. I'm not the expert on Papa John's, but maybe, just maybe, we need to accept the fact that their food wasn't all that fucking good to begin with, so let them be racist.
Bert, when's the last time you actually had Papa John's?
When was the last
How
time
about a week ago?
anyone had Papa
Sometime-
John's?
Wait, a week ago?
Banquet for high school, right?
A week? I can.
Nobody goes there willingly. They get dragged. And they're like,
Well,
well,
I keep
hopefully
getting-
I
I
can
keep
talk to
getting
that
these
one
fucking
chick with the
racist-ass
braces, and then when she
coupons.
gets
I have
those
to
off, I
The
can
only
get a
time you
blowjob.
get Papa
there
John's
you go.
is when Domino's is closed.
Are you
That's
getting
it.
How is your process when you're eating a Papa John's pizza, Bert? Are you just eating it? You're like, I can taste the oppression. You know?
just to save money. They keep sending me these fucking coupons. I gotta fucking take them.
You gotta be fucking
This
kidding
is the
me,
price
man.
I pay for being
What's the
fucking
coupon
thrifty.
code? What's the coupon code? That's the
Oh,
real giveaway
you know what?
here.
Here we go. Coupon code.
Is it like,
oh,
we're
God.
sorry?
No, you're gonna fucking die when you use coupon code.
sorry.
It's superhero.
so sorry.
It's superhero. That's the fucking coupon code. It's superhero. Superhero.
Don't mind me. I'm just
We're gonna
tightening
have
down
to do,
Bert's
like-
microphone here as my joint's falling asleep.
We would have to do an
this.
individual episode that just deconstructs Burt Young.
Is there something sadder that you guys have ever seen in your
That is
life?
all right.
Now you
Limp-
talk about
limp-
something sad.
limp-
That was
So
real
I'm
sad.
going to
Limp-
describe to the viewers what I'm seeing before me. I'm seeing Joe's flaccid blunt.
This is not a blunt. This is a raw cone. And,
very
I'm saving
limp
the
raw cone.
environment.
For the environment.
This is
For
for
the
the environment.
Turn it around. Flip it around.
Flip around, dude.
There you go. It's a little bit better.
Kinda. It's
Let
like
gravity take care of it.
It's like this is like when you're going like for the second time with your girl, And you're like, no, it's up. And she's like, no, it's not really. And you're like, no, I mean, if we push it in enough times, it'll get up.
I think it's great how he went to the specific time, not the first,
No,
but the
it's-
second.
Yeah, well, it would always be the second unless,
Well, the first time was a bust. All pun intended.
Yeah, sometimes it's just 1, 2, and there we go.
You know what? That's the question, though. I wonder. Do
Anybody that
women-
denies that, you're not a real man. and
Someone
you're
just went
fucking-
one. Oh, sorry.
I wonder do women go okay?
If you swing at bat enough times, you're gonna have a couple foul balls.
Yes.
when they
couple?
agree to sleep with you, do
couple.
they agree to
From
sleep
time
with
to
you
time.
once, or do they agree to sleep with you at least 4 times?
No, they base it
You
off your
get it right.
performance.
Yeah.
Do they the
I
first
think-
time?
I don't know. I'm trying to not
Because
get
you
in
could
trouble
be
so
a-
that I can in the future also.
Let's just put in generalities
talking
then. I'm fucking married.
I would say
Marry me.
I
I'm
would
just
say
talking about you people who date now.
Oh, I don't. Well, I guess
Well, he doesn't date.
I don't date. I am dating, right? Or what
No,
is that?
You're
Am
in
I?
a committed relationship.
Yeah, we're exchanging jewelry.
Yeah, you're
Jewelry,
in a committed relationship.
food, food, bodily
We live
fluids.
together. Body fluids.
Keep
You know,
her microwave in your closet.
we have a mic. Yeah, her microwave is in this closet because
Oh,
apparently you
we got in the
can't-
dreaded microwave fucking discussion.
Yeah,
when we
the
came
microwave
in
I had
debacle.
to
Okay, so we
initiate
have a
again.
microwave already, but we needed an extra microwave in case there was a microwave problem.
No, now let's specify what you didn't like about the microwave.
Dude, it looks like it's supposed to be in an old folks' home
He doesn't like the color scheme.
because
Of the
it's
fucking
literally
microwave.
from an old lady's house. Like it's very nice,
Some
and
old lady
it's a
that
very
used
nice
it.
thing. But she's moving into a home, and she offered this thing, and that's cool. But
Some old lady that used it to heat up her cat food. that
it was
she
always
eats herself.
porridge. No, porridge. Probably porridge. What is porridge? Does anybody know what the fuck is porridge?
It's kind of like
Porridge
corn.
is.
Yeah, it is kind of like creamy corn. Seriously.
It's creamy corn.
Yeah,
Oh, is it
Are you
people
sure?
that don't have
but I'm
teeth?
pretty sure it is like corn.
So people survive. I thought people used to survive off of porridge.
Maybe they did,
No, they
but like
survived
it's
off
So
corn.
you just only
Roll.
you can't even digest fucking corn.
Porridge sounds like food that be served at concentration camps. That's just me.
I mean,
Oh man.
there's an
Hey, I didn't
abundance
say-
of
I
it.
didn't say the concentration camps. I'm saying concentration camps in general. So it's just in
The
general.
oh, is there one that you praise?
There is one particular one that
this
stands
is where
out
it
above
comes
the
out.
rest.
Hey man, I'm saying like they're not all in Germany. Be progressive. They're just
Yeah, there's some in China now. Have you guys heard about what's going on in China?
They have some in North
Dude,
Korea.
that's some
Yeah.
scary
They have
shit.
some
South
in
Korea.
fucking Mexico.
No,
You
but
know,
like
you
in
want to
China
make it-
right now, there's something. They're called re-education facilities or
Oh
something.
yeah, absolutely.
Where
they don't
it's,
want to call it concentration, but that's what they are.
it's basically like going along the same lines as what North Korea is doing, being able to control their population and say somebody says something that isn't so good about their government, then they're put on this list and they now need to go through months of schooling away from their families without a guaranteed date of release. And they're going through like concentration camp, like stress, like the same thing, like going hungry, being separated from family. Like, dude, it's fucking horrifying. And you hear about it, this is
It's basically
2019.
making sure that
dude.
you're a good noodle who doesn't. have
Exactly.
any
And well, this
dissenting
is also
viewpoints.
coming from the same country that's now doing that facial recognition fucking software where that's some scary shit.
But this is the thing: is that even though it's 2019, we will always have measures like this. From
Oh,
certain
yeah.
countries.
Dude,
Probably
I bet
get
we-
It'll be
more.
2099, and we'll still have the same problem. Same thing. We have the same problems we have now. These things just don't go away because people don't want to learn. People
Yeah,
don't want to do
it's
that.
funny to think that what if in about like 50 years there were people that are talking about like communist countries like China and North Korea the same way we're talking about it now. Who knows? There might be an issue, but speaking of communism, we still have a wrestler in our podcast.
What are you trying to say about wrestlers?
Well, here's the funny thing because wrestling. It's funny you mention that because there's been quite a few wrestlers who made a gimmick of being like a Soviet communist character, but we're from Minnesota or some shit like that.
You mean like in the 80s when it was like the battle with the Cold War? And shit
Absolutely.
like that?
Like you got
Khrushchev.
you got Nikita Koloff, you got
Khrushchev.
Nikolai Volkov. They're all American, but they all pose to be like communist Russians and all that.
Yeah, but it was all gimmick stuff. You know, like the Iron Sheik is the same way.
Oh,
You know,
that is a
Iron
great
Sheik is
character.
yeah, that guy.
It's just a way of getting people riled up. Like,
I tell you
even
what, that was
people
the first
outside
person I
of-
ever followed on Twitter. Was the Iron Sheik.
He just tells people to go fuck themselves. That's all he does. on
Yes.
Twitter.
And he
funny.
calls Nancy Grace. He said she had cheeseburger tits.
Speaking of Twitter, let's get off topic here. O.J. Simpson. Have you guys seen his fucking Twitter?
No,
No.
I
I've
haven't.
heard. I've been trying to
shit.
avoid seeing this.
That's like giving a baby a hand grenade.
Oh
okay?
my
Like,
god. He's saying that he's gonna get revenge for some shit. He's like, I got some getting even to do.
Oh.
It's like,
Didn't
hey there,
he do that
Twitter
20-some
world.
years ago?
Holy fuck. Exactly.
not-
What the fuck is getting, like,
Does
holy
he not
fuck?
know how social
Oh,
media
allegedly
works?
do
I
that
don't think
20-some
so.
years ago.
He's
I'm
like, I'll
sorry.
eventually talk about sports and, current events.
Yeah,
No.
that's what we
But I
want to
got
hear him
some
talk about
getting
sports.
even to do.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? This is O.J. Simpson saying he's gonna get even.
This is our competition.
What you got to get even for?
And you know the messed up thing is he will get more hits than that.
Oh, yeah.
He'll
Oh,
be,
fuck yeah, dude.
Wait, Bryce, are you saying we need to have O.J. Simpson on our podcast?
I say
I'm not
let's
opposed
fucking
to
do
it.
it. Joe, hide your fucking knives. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I was
I'm
to
ready.
say, if
You
we
know
had
what?
that happen, we would have to have
You
some
know what the
weapons of our
sad
own.
thing is? What if we actually did ask O.J. Simpson to be our podcast? Do you think he would actually say yes?
I think he'd fucking do it. I do. I think
don't
he'd
think he
fucking do
would.
it. You know what I'll do? And I'll put this on my Twitter and I'll put this on the Odtoy too. I will actually write out a request for O.J. Simpson to be a guest on our show.
Please don't.
We have
I'll
we have a
fucking do it.
I'll do a
world-
phone
okay,
call
hold on.
interview.
Why? Why?
I don't.
We
I
have a
don't want to be in
world.
the same room as
Bert,
O.J.
we-
Simpson.
We live in a world where kids are trying to ask out celebrities to prom.
Exactly.
And you want to up the ante by having O.J. Simpson come onto this podcast.
I'm about them hits, baby. Joe, hide your fucking knives out of your kitchen. I'm about them hits.
I like to make a good
How old
movie.
is OJ now? Is he 70 now? You think
He's
the
gotta be
arthritis is
70s.
bad enough where I could at least
I don't
run
know,
out the fucking
man.
door?
Like that, they were like kind of skeptical while he killed his wife. Like he sucked out the stem
Allegedly.
cells of her fucking neck and shit, and so he's younger.
Allegedly.
I'm just fucking with you guys right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that fucked me
I was
up.
waiting to
little
see
bit.
when you were gonna stop me and go, "Shut the fuck up, Joe." Like,
No, I wanted to listen for a bit. Then I got a little scared. Now I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to ask him.
I was like, I'm elaborating with no plan.
But I am. I'm going to actually draft it up where he
Hey,
can be
sometimes
a
you gotta
calling
let
guest on our show.
Step off a ledge
yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes you gotta let the free fall.
But you know
That's
what?
just how it pans out.
Just like when Kyle decided to Botox his ball sack to get it smooth. He was stepping off a ledge.
And I wasn't even being original. I just got inspiration from Dave Chappelle. That's all.
Oh my god.
That's a very random selection, though, about making your ball sack smooth. So
That's the thing with you millennials now, making your
Anybody-
private part smooth.
The first time that you get the gray ball hair,
I mean, the first time.
dude.
It fucks you up.
Dude, I was like 15, and I was like, "Do I seriously got a salt and pepper fucking ball sack right now?" I
I
was like,
keep it.
"This is ridiculous."
I keep mine, son.
Oh,
I'm not
dude.
even gonna lie.
I was
do
minding
the-
it for a while, and then eventually I just gave up. I was like, "Fuck it."
I've been the same woman for almost 2 decades now. I ain't changing shit. I'm about done with changing stuff and improving myself.
It's like, does this look like a bee? Look, I did flames.
No,
It's
you
elephant
can't.
ears.
You can't
next week will
shave.
be a lightning bolt.
You can't shave because when you start to shave, then it itches. You start to get that hair that grows back, and when you rub against, it's not.
Oh no, yeah, nobody likes that.
No,
You go on a run.
Oh,
no. That's why you millennials are just crazy, just shaving everything, making sure it's all smooth. You got to keep that shit up for a whole lifetime. That's
some of
not
them
work.
can't
man.
grow hair because they're bitches. So, all right. Let's get something
Great.
clear about that.
Now our
hate-
fucking
oh my
18 to
God.
26
I
crowd
hate
just
millennials.
This
I
is
can't
not a
stand them.
safe place.
This is not a safe place. This is not a where you need
You
counseling.
offended me.
It's called being an adult and dealing with real life situations. This is the end result. of-
headphones
of our-
safe place.
Yes, of our participation trophies. This is the result of that. Now we have millennial kids. It's like we're all winners. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Ooh.
No, it's not fair. Duh.
But you know, everybody bags on millennials, and I get it. But there are some things that they stand for, which I can be like, okay, I can get with that.
Like
My
what? What do
generation.
they stand for?
I believe most of them are into just like racial justice. I believe that's the thing that was never pushed. With my generation and generations prior, I think that's something now. I think I don't like the fact that everything offends everybody. That's
Yeah.
one thing that
Yeah.
kills me. I think, but I do appreciate the fact that there are certain groups that at least want to look out for people and make sure they're not being trampled on. But it's a fine line. Like you
Well,
can't.
there is no line. The line keeps going. It keeps raising. You know what I mean? You can't keep track of it. What's offensive right now is going to be like so much different 10 years from now, and
But
it
that's the
keeps
thing.
the
And
bar
what's
keeps
okay
moving.
now could be seen as offensive in 20 years too.
Exactly. I mean, dude, watch
it used to be
I was
okay to
ju-
beat your wife. Look
I
at the
was just
honeymoon.
watching a movie recently where someone was like, "This way, retard," and I was like, "Holy fuck!" And this was like a big movie, and they still made their money, and we're not going to make any money because we just dropped an R bomb.
But here's the problem, though. That has other meanings.
It's just the
yeah.
times change.
It means it's a 19th century term for a slow-minded person, but
Exactly.
instead we decided to put mental retardation, and then everybody made that connection. What bothers me the most of what you're trying to support, though, on that, Bert, is the cleansing of the history, tearing down statues. It's
I don't like
basically
that.
Oh, no,
rewrite-
I don't
it's
agree with that
rewriting
either.
history and basically
You can't
wiping the
learn
slate
from your
clean.
mistakes
How-
without learning from them.
Yeah, how we're supposed to learn from our past mistakes. The point of history is to learn about it so we don't repeat it again.
No, I
Oh,
agree.
dude,
with
So
What's
that.
the
we'll
point?
all be Holocaust deniers,
There-
but
it's-
for basic fucking knowledge. Like,
can't-
no, the
we
Civil
can't-
War never happened. Slavery
Yeah.
never existed. No, you need to know that happened because you should know to never let it happen.
Right.
again.
You
No, I
can't
never said
You need to know
sterilize
when your rights are
history.
being fucking trampled
Yeah,
on.
you can't
Yeah.
sterilize history.
Well, I
That's
never
what
said
bothers
anything
me.
about like removing like statues and things like that. Well, I'm just thinking that I just think it's nice to have a generation that's actually semi-mindful
Forward.
about
how do you
how
explain-
people.
I would say their
are
heart's in
thinking.
the right place.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes
I
they're
disagree.
fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Well,
I disagree
they're-
because of look at something like Antifa. Antifa is
Antifa definitely is an extreme.
and here's the worst part about that. Then that whole video, videos out there of them destroying property and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was something reminded of that of the old days of old Germany called Kristallnacht, where a bunch of former German soldiers and also German citizens that went through a Jewish neighborhood destroyed storefronts and murdered people.
Holy fuck.
But has
It's interesting how
Well, it's
history
a mob
repeats
mentality.
itself.
the mob
Yeah.
mentality is there, but could you really say it's in the same magnitude as Kristallnacht, though? I mean, don't get me
It
wrong.
could
What-
progress to that.
Maybe, yeah.
But then you got to remember, people start pushing back. That's one of the things I really enjoy is that one big jacked soldier that decked the hell out of a Antifa dude. Watched him fall like a stack of cards. I never had a biggest boner in my entire life until that moment. That was great just to see because they cover themselves in masks and
justice.
hoods and try to assault people with
Yeah, you don't
batons and
have a
stuff like
good
that.
message if you have to hide your face.
Exactly, it's
If
not
you-
a good
if
message.
you're not willing to stand on the ground in all forms, like whether or not your job knows that you're fucking doing it, if you do even have a fucking job, where most of the time if you're doing that, if you're protesting or something for something that actually matters, yes, I fucking praise that, but who the fuck do you know that actually has time to do that has a job and has responsibilities?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
people find many places
Fuck,
to put hate in
man.
their schedule.
Yeah,
I
guess
mean,
so.
hell,
I guess.
I might not take a fucking nap, but I'm definitely gonna hate on some folks.
Well, are you trying to refer to like the Westboro Baptist Church who would
Jesus
like
Christ.
protest at soldiers' funerals?
Oh, don't get me fucking
But see,
started about
this
that.
is my thing:
Yeah.
is that even though they say history will repeat itself, history is gonna repeat itself anyway because people are just people, and people are just assholes. You always gonna
yeah,
get an
yeah.
asshole in every
Yeah.
generation that's going on, whether we think it's an old agenda or not. These people aren't raised that way. They think that's a current agenda. They
No,
think
if
that's
their
something
parents didn't
that they
teach
have to
them
do.
right or wrong. They did a lackadaisical approach of how to raise their kids.
Agreed. That's definitely agreed. But a lot
Hey
of
man,
people
they got
too.
festivals to go to.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Some of them might even happen.
Right? Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of people too, though. Even though their parents raised them wrong, a lot of people find that out later in life.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
unfortunately.
It's not what you told me, Mommy. You said everything was supposed to be just fine. It's a utopian world. It's not. Why? I'm gonna go to my room and cry.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not big. I'm not a big fan of millennials, but I do kind of get where their heart's at in terms of some of these things. I just think it
yeah.
goes extremely overboard.
Well,
I think it's also the case of social media just taking a hold, and then anyone can come on there and talk. Anybody can go on social media and say whatever the hell they want. And sometimes, if you really think about it, when you go to your younger days, we've all said stupid stuff in our times.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
And
yeah.
now you have a platform that puts it right on you.
When you guys first got Facebook, did you write is going to like put an is Because it posts Joe Beasley is.
Yeah. I used to do that for MySpace. Man.
One of my first posts was likes to party, and then I liked it, and then so basically it's Joe Beasley likes that he likes to party. Just as a troll to people,
Joe
I'm like, I hope
likes to
somebody
party.
gets mad at the fact that I did this. I remember like months later, somebody was like, "You like your own comments," and I'm like, "Yeah, because it's fucking hilarious."
Why wouldn't I like my own comments?
Like, yeah,
It's silly. Yeah, I fucking put it there. If anyone like it,
But think about it though. Now everybody has this tool that is, never been used before in the world, and it's obviously like anything. It goes to an excess, and people, use it, and then all of a sudden you start seeing people try to control it or abuse it, or manipulate it to their design.
but it has everything to do with, like I said before, being fucking home trained. If you're fucking decently home trained, you know what to say and
What do you
not
mean
to
by
say.
home trained?
Home trained, as if like you were at home and your parents actually taught you things,
Raised right,
things to
basically.
learn and raised right.
Yeah, you're trying
So
to
if you
refer to
weren't
they
fucking,
got their asses beat.
yes,
Yeah, that's pretty
maybe
much
their
the way
asses
that
beat
it
there
works.
because everyone don't need their ass beat,
But
but
we
fucking
can't
the
do
majority
like
of these
not-
people.
not-
Bert, we can't
ass
do that. That's
beat.
considered child abuse.
Look, some kids need their ass beat. If they don't get their fucking ass beat, then they're a fucking situation. But a lot of times, like, these people don't have any type of home training or fucking being raised right or whatever else. And then they have this certain platform and they think, oh, I can say what the fuck I want to say. Oh, I'll put this down. They have no filter. And I think that's where we're getting to now as a society, is that we have no filter.
It's not the
at
case
all.
of having a filter. Is that people we have first world problems. Okay,
Absolutely.
the second and third world where they're struggling to survive. We have first world problems, and we consider them third world problems. We're upset about the dumbest of things, and it's like we're acting like the world's gonna end.
Do you think South Africa has to deal with gluten allergies?
I don't think they care, but as long as they got gluten, got some kind of food. It's like we're dealing with a society that doesn't want to embrace consequences. They want to live in this I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to live in a utopian world where everything's all sunshine and rainbows.
No, because when it comes to utopianism, it's like it's not a free society. When everything's perfect, that means that
You lose
everyone
control
is
for safety.
Everyone is in a uniform way, and when you're going for a perfect society, we lose aspects of freedom.
Yeah.
And so it's all about conformity towards the end. That's the thing. It's like we always want to try to achieve a perfect society, but the truth is we never want a perfect society.
But people do.
I always want to build my own
It's-
community.
They always want to, okay.
Well, we never actually want to.
If you start saying you look up to Keith Raniere and how he ran his
No.
sex cult, I'm
No.
out.
No,
That was what I was just thinking.
it's
I'm
not
like,
like that.
Bert wants to be fucking. Like,
no, nothing like
wanna
that.
come in my community?
These
I was
days,
just
right?
like like-minded
By me.
people. Yeah, I was just like like-minded people who think like I do.
You gotta kiss the ring.
No, I mean like
It's a
there would
cock
be
ring.
no sex between anyone. God, there'd be no sex between anyone but me and my wife. But I mean, I would just like like-minded people. I would like my family to be involved too. I want everyone that I think like close to me. Now they can have differing opinions. That's fine. But I just want to be around good people.
Yeah, but you can't have that.
I know.
I mean, I granted, if I deal with negative people, they're no longer hanging around me. But you have to have that type of balance in life. You can't have all good without an equal amount of bad. It's called regression to the means. Everything has to come back to the middle. Everything has a way of balancing.
That makes a lot of sense.
I just want to live in people that don't want to fucking rob me, and then people that ain't gonna act like dicks when I drive past them. That's it.
Yeah. See, I
I
have
think that's a good society to roll
That's
with.
it. I'm
It's that
not
no one
asking for
robs
any
you.
more than that.
You know what? I've been saying it a lot lately. I only want to surround myself with people that I can hand the keys to my fucking house and go, hey, man, you can walk in. You know what I mean? Or do whatever the fuck you
Agreed.
want. Where I know that they'll respect my place. You know what I mean? That's the only people that I want to surround myself with. Because I've had a lot of friends over the years. I've lived in so many different states. And you know that you have a certain threshold of certain friends of trust and shit. And I've known over the years, like, just to kind of cut it to a certain... Because there's only so much fucking time in the day, especially if you're trying to do something like launch fucking 2 podcasts and do stand-up comedy and have a relationship and have a full-time job and live your fucking life. Like, you know what I mean? You can only do so much. So you have to, like, learn to kind of, like, regulate your time and shit. And it's... You got to find people that are like-minded, but also push you at the same time and that root for you, and that aren't people that say that they root for you, but really behind closed doors they want you to fail, just out of themselves being too afraid to succeed.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I would say it's the suburban mind. That's what it is. Being afraid. There's people from the suburbs that have never been to the fucking city who go, I don't go up there. It's too much of a stress. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I have
that's
friends who are
living
afraid
life.
to drive in the highway up north.
Oh,
and it's
dude.
fucking annoying.
Exactly.
It's like, how are we going to get to Phoenix? Oh, we could drive there. I don't take the highway. Oh, let's take the train. Metro takes right there. I don't take the train either.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why don't blame him
I
on
know
that?
exactly what
Like,
you're
I don't
talking
feel like
about,
getting
though.
jizz on me before the show or game
Like
or
some
whatever.
random fucking homeless guy just spouting off.
Oh God.
But yeah, I mean that's where I'm at. I just want those people who I feel that are beneficial to me, close to me geographically, like that. Not like I want to start a sex cult, anything like that. Because
but
I don't have enough
idealistically,
All I
Gatorade
heard
or
was
fucking
sex
Red Bull
cult.
to do
Please
that.
continue.
But
Yeah, all I heard was that.
But to be honest,
I don't
Bert-
want to start a sex cult.
Yeah.
It's
Not
how you
with
say
you
it.
guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to start a sex cult.
To be honest, Bert, out of the four of us, idealistically, you would be the one because that would start a sex
I don't
cult.
think I have that much
He's got
charisma
that.
to
No,
start a
yes,
sex
you
cult.
do. You
Oh,
got
yes,
that
you
voice.
do. 'Cause you
You have no idea what I would do to
got
a
all
world with that
motivation.
voice.
That's why he keeps talking about how much he loves millennials. He's trying to get them on his side.
No, if I had a sex cult, I want women that can cook.
right.
Fucking
Ooh,
millennials
now
do
we're
not
back to
fucking
genders.
go in there.
Now we're
Truth
going
be
to gender
told-
standards. Now we're going to great territory.
Yeah,
sorry
says
about
the
my
guy
gender
who
bag.
just saw a picture of Catherine Winnick.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie, dude. That was a life changing.
very-
It was a life changing.
You gotta put that on the computer.
Okay,
Joe.
for starters, okay, give everybody some clarity here.
First time today I've seen.
That Bert
What's her
was
name?
looking. He had all these different selections of women that he
What is
thinks
it?
that are
Catherine
attractive.
Winnick.
Catherine Winnick.
Catherine.
Yes, not Jen. Who the hell is Jen? It's with a
Why does it
K.
keep fucking...
It's with a K, not a C.
Oh.
I think Google will find her ass. Google will be like, look.
But
I'm
anyway,
on the
She
fucking
I'm
needs
like,
to learn how to
okay,
spell her fucking name.
Anyway, I tell Bert, like, have you seen
Winnick?
who Catherine Winnick is? It's two N's
Jesus.
and a Y.
Is there a Y in there?
Apparently.
Wait.
look this
Winnicky?
Winnick.
Hold on.
That second I is a Y.
She wants to be special with this name.
Trust me, I saw
mean,
the
she
pictures.
is.
Her ass is special.
She is so special. Well, anyway, like I said, I showed him a picture of Catherine Winnick, and it was like,
Oh, yeah,
the
alright.
light came on. He's never seen this woman, and she's from Vikings, and there it is, top name right there. And she
It's
is
on his recent
gorgeous.
searches. He was
She
already
is
looking this
Oh,
shit
it was
absolutely,
on my first. search.
absolutely
Oh.
gorgeous, and she's from Canada, of course. That's why she's gorgeous.
Was it,
Look at you, baiting to our Canadian fans. Of course.
Canadian
Yeah.
chicks are beautiful, man.
She's from Canada.
She is Lagatha. She plays Lagatha in Vikings, and
Don't make no
she is an absolute badass because she's in real life. She's a martial artist and stuff, and
she
just
looks like she fronts like a fucking black metal band here.
yes.
That'd
She
be
looked like the
awesome.
type that would be on top of you, punch you in the face, but you're so
You're cool
angry,
with it.
but keep her going. You're cool with it.
Yeah.
You know, she's very, very beautiful. And now that finally that Bert has seen this, he's now shifted his list. So
Out of my top 10, yeah, there's definitely some shifting.
You haven't even seen the show, dude.
yeah.
No, I haven't.
You
I've
see,
never
you
seen
see,
Vikings.
like, you see a woman start like murking dudes with a fucking
Show
sword,
that clip
and you're
right there
like,
with the bathing
just,
suit.
just
Scan up.
whatever you need.
Scan up with the bathing suit clip right there. Holy, whoa!
She's a gorgeous woman. I'm not gonna lie.
What's up with this picture right here? This is like
The
look
side
at her
shot of the
feet.
lake. Look at her.
Because
Look
some
at
people
those
like
Because there's some
feet.
messed
fucking
up
weird
people with
motherfucker.
feet, dude.
Look at this fucking weirdo. We need to find out who published this. You
Oh,
weird-
there's a
Yeah,
whole
this guy's
site
got-
of
this guy's got
celebrity
nothing but
feet.
Look at it. It says feet barefoot. You fucking weirdo.
There is a whole site of celebrity feet.
Oh my god.
Bert, how do you know
I
this?
first of all, okay,
How do I
hey,
know it?
what's up with people that like
Yeah.
foot fucking, dude? Like, is athlete's foot dick? Is that a real problem?
Feet
Is that just jock itch? Is that the same thing? Is that how? What's that fucking spray? Tenactin.
feet are next to like.
Yeah.
Is
the-
that how that company gets most of their fucking their sales? They're
Feet are like the second
you got problems on
sexiest
your
thing
dick
on a woman.
and your feet.
Yeah, feet are like the second.
That's not a
sexiest thing
coincidence
on
at
a
all.
woman.
I used to
just spray this shit.
I would say
Yeah.
eyes, feet, and other shit.
I used to work in a strip club.
Oh, that's foot, mouth, and
Yeah, I used to work in a strip club. I used to be a DJ, bartender. I was jack of all trades.
Wait.
except
Give us an
working a bowl.
intro. The Odtoy podcast.
The Odtoy coming to you here. The Odtoy podcast. Yes, check out the ladies on the stage, fellas.
I think we're gonna have to cut some clips out of you saying this shit. You might be on our intro music.
Coming
Followed
up
by
here
the
for
song.
free.
I can't talk.
Followed by the song "I Get the Bag" by Gucci Mane.
Anyway, as I was saying, there was a guy who called him Creepy Corey. Okay, you know that song,
Creepy Corey.
You remember the song, the theme for Creepy Crawlers? Creepy Crawlers. It's about that for Corey. Creepy Corey.
Oh,
He
shit.
would get private dances, and he would make sure the girls would put their foot next to his head so he can smell their feet.
I've heard of people
He
doing
had a
that.
huge foot fetish. He would give the waitress that was working
Yeah,
that
mine
shift
ain't like that.
to wear moccasins to walk around in during her shift.
How much money?
I don't know how much she dropped. I didn't want to ask.
You got his contact info?
No.
All right, because I'm gonna tell my girl. You got these moccasins, but I'll get you fresh moccasins every week. She won't know why, but we'll get a lot more sushi regularly.
Yes. So this guy had a thing for feet, but then he progressed. He bought an outfit for a girl to wear and strip to it. And when she would be
Oh,
done
that could be
performing, she would bring the clothes back to him. He grabs the clothes and runs home. He gets out the fucking door.
Do you
I
think
don't
he wears
want
them?
to know.
Do you think he wears them?
I think he puts it on a sex doll and just basically he's just like, oh, it's like the real thing.
I
So-
mean,
That's crazy.
hey, he figured out his fucking thing, man. More power to him. But holy fuck, how much time in the day do you have to
I
go
just
like?
feel bad for these
this-
girls that
this
have to
is
go
what
through
I
this.
need.
Why does he make
Wait,
to
oh,
do all this stuff?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
feel bad for the strippers?
I do.
I do feel bad.
No,
for him.
no, man.
I know
Fuck
they've
off. No.
look. I know they've
make
had a
some
job
money.
where they've,
They did
I mean,
make
chosen
money.
to be
They got one.
objectified.
I know.
But there's a difference between making money and like having some type of self.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if somebody's paying you extra to smell your feet, who the fuck is the loser there?
Really?
Well, I mean, he's the loser.
He's the
Like,
loser.
Okay,
dude.
hold on. Back
all right,
up.
I'll put a fucking. If you pay me $500, man, I'll fucking let you smell my feet. I don't
He ain't
give a
trying to smell
fuck,
your
dude.
feet because he knows who you
But
are.
if you get weird, I'll break
You
your
feel
fucking
bad
face.
for these
but
ladies. You feel bad for these
Who
ladies.
the fuck cares? It's your fucking feet, dude.
Let me
That's
tell you
so
something,
gross.
guys. These ladies,
So gross.
Where,
Who's the loser?
okay, they might look attractive, but their personalities make them ugly. Second, the gifts that they would get from customers was insane.
yeah, we were gonna talk about these gifts.
Yeah, they would get stuff like
See, I would be afraid like leaving and going home and getting followed by
yes,
somebody like that.
that has happened.
'Cause
Yeah,
they're
that's
like-
what I'm saying.
They're
That's
like,
why I feel terrible.
see, they're like mini celebrities. They're like celebrities within that town of regular fucking weirdos, and that's the worst target of people that
yeah.
you could have. Is people that are willing to just walk out and throw a bunch of money at hoes. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but they would get gifts though.
I
They
mean,
would get,
I'm not above it, but
Yeah, they get stuff like money. They would get computers. They would get DVD players. They would get TVs. They would
Dude.
get like jewelry. They would get a car.
A car.
Someone
Okay,
would get them a
so-
car.
I could believe it.
And then, you know,
I mean, was it a good
with
car?
money in the...
yeah. What kind of car is it?
If he's a band Geo.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
one girl I know. Her stage name is Nadia. I'm not going to give her real name. But her stage name... Was that you that just said that? Nadia.
You can't say that name without just saying that plain. You have to go, Nadia.
Nadia, okay? And I could have tapped this, but I had a girlfriend at the time. Damn myself.
Tap
Right,
But
she's
she
got
had a
it.
regular. Here's the kicker. She had a regular who bought her like just one of those standard run-of-the-mill cars. Just a car to get you from A to B because she didn't have a car. So he bought her a car.
Dude.
Yeah, it gets more. Now here's where the Quentin Tarantino twist comes. Okay, just before he's about to sign the title over, he dies in a car accident.
Oh.
So here's a stripper driving around in a dead man's car. And then what happens is this dude is married.
Oh.
So when the lawyer starts liquidating the estate, what's this car that's on here? Like, it turns out she had to give the car back because the wife wanted
Oh.
Damn.
it. Yeah.
I feel
So
bad.
you feel bad for these
I do,
ladies?
and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
Tell us how you feel bad for these ladies. We gotta play some sexual music for him.
No, I terribly do because I feel bad that these women
What the
feel
fuck?
they have to objectify themselves.
Okay,
in
I
order
thought
to
this
make a
fucking
decent
recording
living.
just like disappeared. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, no problem.
Do they have to objectify
I mean,
themselves?
because most of these women have been through traumatic experiences. Am I not right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
In
knew
terms
some
of-
hoes, man, in the past, like in multiple states. For some reason, like strippers just seem to be attracted to like musicians or like ex-military people.
A
and,
party
like,
lifestyle.
my style of people that I would hang out with. And yeah, some of them are really cool, but
But
some
how
of them
often do these girls get taken advantage of?
all the fucking
How do
time.
you
But
mean
at the
get
same
taken
time,
advantage?
do they have a line? It's being taken advantage of in our opinion. But to them, they have no respect. They're dirty laundry already. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like some of these girls, they would just, all right. So you know like how a stripper is at work. You're a stripper, but outside of being a stripper, they're at parties making out with other girls and still being strippers and doing hoey shit. You know what I mean? When I'm outside of my work, am I out and painting people's fucking cars for free? Hell the fuck no. I'm not going to parties and like, hey, you want me to fucking blend your goddamn bumper or do some stand-up comedy or something? Well, maybe I would take that opportunity. But god damn it, like
You're
being
not- yeah.
But how
no,
old
if
were
nobody's
these-
paying you and nobody's throwing dollars at you or something, and you're just on a pool table doing some hoe shit in the middle of a fucking party in North Carolina, like I got no fucking.
They
remorse.
do it.
But how old were these girls when you knew them? I mean, how old were you?
25, 28,
Will these girls blend
30.
my bumper though?
huh?
Will these girls blend my bumper though?
Bert, you are like thinking these girls are angels.
No, I don't. I don't think that
You
they're
pity
angels.
them.
No,
no,
I don't pity them.
You don't. I worked in
I
this
just
environment.
don't,
You
yeah.
don't pity them.
Yeah, man.
They tried to
I had
coast
friends that
through
dated
life
them,
on
married
their
them.
looks.
Oh,
Exactly.
I understand that. I just feel terrible.
How?
I feel terrible because they don't see the full potential of themselves.
But
what
they
can
do.
without
If I
having
could get
looks like
paid
that.
a fuck ton of money to throw my hang dang around, like I probably would.
But you only have a shelf life on your hang dang.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. They will ride it until the wheels fall off.
Exactly.
Right?
But then after that shelf life goes, what else do you have? That's
You
why
hope
I
you
feel
find a
like
guy to marry and get you pregnant.
Then
But
whose
you
fucking
hope-
fault is that? You know what I mean? If,
Yeah, well, it's their
it's
fault. I
your
just feel pity
decision
for the
to not
situation.
learn and expand your fucking mind, and after high school, if you didn't even make it through fucking high school, you just don't read the fucking paper, listen to podcasts, listen to the radio, fucking read books or something, then I don't feel sorry for you.
But the
Like, I
difference
just
between
don't.
them and a professional athlete is
You're comparing
what?
apples to oranges, okay? Because you're like, look at, yes, I am, because they get paid millions of dollars. These women make their money and they piss it away.
Yep.
There is, because they think
I
it's
know
going to be
athletes
there
who piss their
tomorrow.
money
They're
away.
making
And the
more
athletes
money
do
than
piss their money
all
away,
of
but
us
this is-
combined, and they could fucking save that shit and be smart, but instead they're driving Lexuses, getting bottle service, and fucking doing stupid amounts of cocaine.
But these are
That's-
girls in their mid-20s.
I'll-
Mid-20s and 30s.
I'm not gonna speak about that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you gotta understand. You gotta. Okay, I'm telling you right now. I
Cocaine's a
worked
hell
in
of a
the
drug.
industry. You cannot take pity on these women. They made a decision. They made a choice.
Yep.
They decided to do this. There was only one success story that I can tell you that a stripper did right, and she saved all her money, saved it up, didn't spend none of it, and bought an apartment complex.
Cardi B.
No, not Cardi B. She was stealing Robin Hoods.
Right.
But no, she bought the complex, still worked, okay, and made up enough money made money from like the apartment complex, and then the money she still clubbed, she bought another apartment complex, and then that money she bought it for a house, and now she's never working again.
See, I've heard
That's
about
the
that.
smart
yeah,
way to do
buying
shit.
property.
But that's one.
I've heard of that. Is
Yeah.
One
A
story.
lot of those girls, they like to buy property, or at least the successful ones.
Meanwhile, the other girls who were making money, I'm gonna go buy some Versace and Gucci and blah blah blah. I'm gonna spend all this money, and then like they piss it away, and they can't, and they wondering why they financially struggle and why life is that. It's just the whole thing with a woman's youth. It's you, man. You just take too much pity on strippers. You gotta stop.
I feel bad for their situation. I mean, I don't go to strippers, so I mean, I can feel.
I mean,
those
it's a
pity
job I
all.
wouldn't want to do.
Fuck no.
Or maybe
But it's also-
for the money.
And
I
with
don't know how
you got the
much.
on
body
the
for it,
surface, you would
Cal.
want to do it,
But
with
you
the money,
made
it's
a decision to do that life. That's
Exactly.
something you don't.
The opportunity could have came to you guys. Okay, say if you motherfuckers were all banging, you had good ass looking fucking bodies, and you were all like fucking
Had.
18, 20 years
Have.
old, and somebody came up to you and said you could be a stripper and make over $1 million a year. Would you do that? That's like a morality
Over $1
question.
million?
Because you go, all right, I might be able to do it, but I'm also going to kind of hate myself at the end of the day.
Depends
I'm
what the
going to
end
feel
game
like a
is.
dirty fucking tramp at the end of the day. I mean, the opportunity is there even for any type of body, I'm sure. But it's a morality issue.
Right.
Those women make that decision. Those men make that decision. I think most dudes that are doing that are stripping they're very voluntary.
Right.
They
But
had
it's-
other options most likely or something, but they were like, fuck it.
But they did it because it was easy money.
Exactly.
Because working is death. They don't
Oh,
want
it
to work
is.
a real job.
Exactly. I don't fucking blame them. I'm in a parking lot fucking burning up at 90, 100 degree fucking weather, negative 30 degrees, fucking painting goddamn cars, but it's the quickest way in fucking making money and shit. And you got to do your day job to be able to succeed in your other fucking,
So yeah,
things. You
yeah.
know?
To sustain a lifestyle.
Weed,
in
I'm
your
losing
interest.
my train of thought.
Yes, but you do not feel pity for these women. You should not feel pity for these women. They
No,
made a
not at
choice,
all.
Bert.
What was the most fucked up thing you
Well-
encountered at a strip club?
Okay.
Feel free to go down a list. If you need to.
I can list one in particular. There was a girl that was dancing in there, and her parents came in. Her parents came in, and they were here. They have a good time.
Oh, no.
And she came in and freaked out, like she was working. Like, my parents are here. Can you please skip me in rotation? And like,
I wouldn't give a fuck. I fucking love if I saw my daughter stripping because I asked for all that goddamn money I done spent when she was a kid.
okay.
Like, no, whatever you made, bring it the fuck over here.
Speaking
We can
of-
start these payments
Speaking
now.
of dark shit,
You say that, but then if it happened, you'd be...
No, I'd ask
Oh,
for
no.
my
Yeah,
fucking
no.
mother.
So-
that
So,
spent
if a
when I was
father
a kid.
gave his stripper daughter
I
money,
would
was
die
that in lines
inside.
now?
no. What happened? No, what happened was finally she
Yeah,
couldn't,
whenever
she
you
couldn't
pay her
avoid it
allowance, you throw
anymore.
singles at her.
Yeah, she couldn't.
No,
avoid
she ain't
it.
getting the money back.
She couldn't avoid it anymore. She went up on stage right in front of her parents, and the parents then freaked out on her. What are you doing here? And then of course the best response ever. She says to them, "What am I doing here? What are you doing here?" I'm like, "That's the great thing." And then the father getting in the face of the owner, like, "How dare you do this to women? Exploit?" I'm like, "You just came in here with your wife."
Look at women
To
there
see
and
women
exploited.
exploit themselves.
Yeah.
What a fuck.
Yeah, if that is not a
both the
sign of you
parents,
fucked
though?
up as a parent, when
Exactly.
you see your daughter up there at the strip club that you decided to go to, you're like, oh shit! It's like your life unfolded right in front of you.
But then again,
Well, that's why I
who the
feel
fuck
bad
knows?
for
Maybe
her.
maybe we're thinking about it in a
Stop
different...
feeling bad for them.
Yeah,
We-
we need
you-
to stop. 'cause
I wanna
who knows?
hear it-
Maybe
yeah, I wanna
that's
hear this
her
from a
fucking thing.
woman's
She wasn't too
perspective.
smart.
No, this is
That's her way
a
of
woman's
making money.
perspective is how can I get paid? How can I make money?
Yeah.
How can I make lots of money without having to really work?
Yep.
That's what that comes down to. That's not
Exactly.
sexist. That's not anything. That's not misogynist. It's the easiest way to make money.
Well, I mean, for some.
See, I'm not a
women,
hater
every
unless
woman
you're
doesn't
throwing
look
it in other people's faces.
like they could strip though.
Listen to you. You're like, I understand these women's plights. They just need to cry on my shoulder. So let them cry on my shoulder. I understand. I feel your plight.
I just don't see it as straight, like a straight black and white situation. Like, I'm not saying that these women were forced to do it because they weren't. But the whole thing of it is that some might feel that they're forced to do it if they have a nice body and, they got 2 kids to feed at home and they go and strip. I feel bad for them because they don't have another option.
But they made a choice to do that because they couldn't work another job
Yep.
that requires that. Okay.
They could have went to college. They could have made better decisions. But then again,
Because went to
we're
college and
being-
got student loan debt?
Yeah, exactly. I'm making more money
Which-
than most of the people that I
Yeah,
know that went
but
through
but
fucking
here's another
college.
thing: 2/3 of women own college loan debt. Are the ones holding on college loan debt? 2/3 of women.
That's
So are
fucked.
you going to tell them they should have stripped and been
That
like
is
fucking
fucked.
this
No,
college
I'm not
loan
saying
debt?
they're gonna. Yeah, no. There's always a place in the order of the universe that everybody's gonna feel like if they want to strip, they're gonna strip. That's how it's gonna be. That's just like if someone's gonna be working in the coal mines, that's their choice. If someone's gonna go ahead and be a waiter for the rest of their life, that's up to them. If someone wants to be a bagger at a Jewel, that's all for them. Because sometimes people just aim low in life. That's just how it is.
Exactly. That's aiming low. Minimum wage. Minimum fucking.
Why the hell do you think they're trying to raise
minimum effort?
the minimum wage at McDonald's? Okay.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a livable
It's not a living wage.
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
a supplemental income to help while you're living with your fucking family and figuring out
Don't get
who
me
you
started
are.
on the minimum wage. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, we're not gonna watch somebody's like, no, it's fucking not. We're not gonna get.
I think
into
it's
it.
funny, all the shit we just talked about now. Now we're deciding, hey, minimum wage. That's a heated debate right there.
Exactly.
There's the line.
All right. Yeah. Boo this man.
Let's
Boo.
talk about titties.
Yeah,
see
but
your
Talking about
parents
there'll
in
be
the strip
people
club,
like
we
supporting
gonna
Bert
back
with
up
the
on
saying they
wage.
should take pity on strippers, and then here people have hate me because I'm like I worked in the
No.
industry. I'm the one who
I don't
based.
take pity. Like,
See, he's
pity.
saying that he was a host, but he was stripping.
Yeah, I did
He
it
was
once.
throwing that dick all over. That
I did it
stage.
once, and I got a bunch of claw marks and whip marks from the strippers themselves. So
It wasn't whip
Hence
marks
what-
from the strippers. It was whip marks from your dick.
That's,
It was like.
anyway, no, I mean, it's like I said, it's just I worked in that industry, banged a good number of them. I know exactly how they are.
how this mental setup
Show of hands here. Who banged a stripper?
He did the taste test.
I did. You didn't bang a stripper, Bert.
The hell I didn't.
No, I did. I was in the bush, literally. Okay.
I was offered plenty of time, but every time I was like, itchy dick, just not an option for me. I just the thought of it, I was like, nope.
Bacterial vaginosis.
Exactly. Dude, I had a friend, I'm not going to name him. They had some issues about a year and a half ago.
know.
And then it reawoken that fear. I was just like, oh my God, I haven't been single in a while, so I haven't had to worry. But as a single guy these days, especially with Twitter and all the, not Twitter, fucking, what's that thing? Tinder, there we go. With all those, dude, and nobody's fucking paying attention.
Being single
oh my
has
God,
to
it's
be terrible nowadays.
there's
I'm
got to be
single.
some super
Yeah.
fucking AIDS
Well,
out
is it
there.
terrible?
Kyle's
terrible.
single.
It is terrible.
I actually
I have
no.
to ask.
I
Is
like
it terrible?
It's not terrible. I actually
No.
no, because guys being single is different from women being single. Okay, we have our hobbies, we have our interests, and the things that we like that keeps us busy.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
We have interests.
Women, on the other hand, are not solidarity creatures. They need a man. Okay.
Well, I think
in
that's
essence,
also-
they need us.
Women right now
More
are
than that, we
breaking
need-
glasses
God,
in their
that son
hands.
of a- he's
Their
releasing
Chardonnay is just spilled all over their laps.
I'm sorry, ladies. I'm dropping some red pill
I ain't
knowledge.
Honey,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to listen to the Odtoy podcast
I'm
again.
not saying shit
They are
about
misogynists.
Ultra
Hey,
misogynist.
we're not
if we were-
misogynists. We can't spell it.
No, I'm not speaking. I'm like, no, we have our things in life that we like, but women are
Just
not
spell
solidarity
massage, then
creatures.
this at the end.
Yeah, bit alert.
Yeah, I'm not kidding though. They're not solidarity creatures. They need men. They need. They
You mean they need
us.
the attention?
Now, do you think that's biological or do you think that's societal? Because
Well-
I feel like there's a lot of societal pressure.
Yeah,
for
the societal
women to
pressure.
I can
often-
see that, yeah.
It's more societal pressure than biological. It's
Well,
more
biological
so-
is when they bang a Chad or a Tyrone and think they can turn it. They can try to turn Chad Thundercock. You know.
Chad Thundercock.
Sup, ladies?
My name is Chad Tyrone.
laundry off my abs. You know.
I can make a drum beat with my dickhead.
There's some white kid that's got both
Da,
those
da,
names,
da.
Chad and Tyrone.
By the way, this segment on Chad and Tyrone has been brought to you by Fuckboy Ice Cream. Fuckboy Ice Cream. It'll fill you up, ladies, but you'll still feel empty and disappointed.
All the
Fuckboy Ice
calories,
Cream.
none of the hope.
Oh, God, I'm dying. I'm dying.
Coffee from all that fuckboy ice cream there, I see, huh?
No, he caught a void right there. He caught me good on that one. That was a good laugh that made me cough. Oh, my God.
The more you cough.
No, like that's like here. Let me put it to you guys here because there's been always this discussion. I even had to deal with this on my stuff that I do, is that women complain when a man is going out there and actually like dropping dick, doing his job,
Dropping dick
everywhere, in the fap department.
You guys better pick some of that dick up.
Anyway.
Oh my god!
Man, I just dropped my dick
Anyway.
again.
Oh, just drop my dick again. Damn it!
God damn it!
I gotta I gotta tuck it in my sock.
Let's stay on topic. But no, that women get mad at men because that these guys can get multiple women at them, but when women do it, it's negatively perceived.
A master key can open many doors, but a shitty lock can be opened by many keys.
I think it used to be. I think the focal point
Started
started
to hit like a gong with that.
Did the internet just explode?
Yeah, whoa, mind blown.
I'm stealing that from somebody else, but I don't know their name to credit them, and I changed the wording, so fuck off.
So that
with your
means your
copyright.
intentions were pure. You
My-
followed it.
My
Here is-
intentions were pure.
My take on this is simple.
I asked before I jerked off.
If a guy is able to get many women, that's up to the women. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, okay? So if they're opening their legs for every fucking shitty dude out there and think that they're like upset about something because they're the ones who started to initiate it in the first place, they make the choice.
You like Oasis? Me too.
Yes. Want to go screw?
I'm staying at the Ramada.
Has that actually worked?
I couldn't afford the Hyatt. Those bitches at the desk.
Well, the fact
You're gonna
that-
find that hotel I'm staying at. You'll find some rednecks like cooking meth in the back, but it's a solid place.
It's a solid place.
But I think that's starting to change though with society and how it is. I
How
think
so?
like a lot of times nowadays, when a woman decides to have sex, I think it's more a female empowerment thing than anything. I think that's for the younger generation. I don't think we look at it.
Female empowerment.
Yeah.
No, they try to act like guys by getting a high body count.
Yeah, but you have to think about it this way. What rule is there to say that a woman can't like sex as much as guys and have as much sex as a man does?
Oh, there isn't. There's no rule. And
There's
that's-
no rule.
it's
I mean,
totally
hell,
cool.
I mean,
I was
just
just
put
saying
this- just to
something
put it
like a
plainly.
dickhead.
But
If you
more
like
power
the
to
fuck,
you.
you like the fuck.
Yeah,
I
more
mean,
power
that's
to
just
you.
what it is.
Go do your fucking thing as long
But
as you're
nature,
being safe.
but nature plays a role with that, though. That women
Exactly.
are not supposed to be that way. Hence, we brought up bacterial vaginosis.
Yeah.
But how do kids get here? But there's got to be two parties involved.
We have the ingredient to make that happen, though.
Yeah.
We have the special ingredient.
Well, I'm not saying because now with the forms of birth control and things that we have,
Yeah, but they're not 100%.
no, but no
Every
birth
time,
control is 100%.
that's why I try to come past the ovaries.
No, it's. I
Keep
think.
getting that vitamin E down.
I think honestly that says women want to be just as bad as men and want to compartmentalize as men, but it, what?
I'm sorry.
Are you still learning about the coming past the
Yeah.
ovaries?
Oh God.
Oh, I'm laughing at my own jokes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I've drank a pretty good
You
amount
might
of
as well be
sake.
Jimmy Fallon.
And I'm
Jimmy Fallon's his
pretty
own
damn
sake.
fucked up.
Yeah.
No, I just think that women they try to be like men and it doesn't work, and then they think because there's been this feminist movement and this movement that women don't get married young. They have to wait where they're older.
But that's smarter, though.
I agree.
You should have some experience. I think a relationship would suck ass if you were just with your high school sweetheart. It's as romantic as that sounds. It's not fucking practical, and you're not Hank Hill and Peggy Hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I can see
come
that.
on, man.
A couple people, I can
I
understand
mean,
that.
it works for some people.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be a growing resentment for the fact that you didn't get to fuck around and do some fucking shit and experience life a little bit before you go, all right, I'm down with this one. Like,
Are you thinking this as a guy or as a woman?
both.
Yeah, I agree
I can
because
see
I
you
think
It's more
would think-
likely
I would think-
the guy or the woman to be in that situation.
I would say the fucking woman needs to have some experience, or
Yeah,
else
I
she's
would
going to
say
turn
so,
to
too.
some.
Why
fucking
should there be a
But here's
difference?
the
straight-up
kicker.
depression by the time that she's locked in at home with her kids and shit. She needs some reassurance.
But you need to have
Reassurance.
You
Wow,
need your
making up
youth though to
words
help.
like Trump.
Yeah, but you need your youth though to provide viable, strong offspring. That's why it's always encouraged that women get married young to have children, healthy children.
But
a guy can all he has to do is supply the male. Okay,
But
That's pretty much what it
debatable.
comes to
Those kids could be healthy, but then brought up in an unhealthy relationship,
true.
which is
That's
in
mental,
turn
not
doing
biological.
even more
Well,
fucking
I think you
damage.
guys are
Double-edged
talking about
sword.
physical health
You know
as
what
in
I mean?
comparison to
It's
mental
all, yeah.
and spiritual health. But this is the thing that I'm saying is that women have just as much right as a guy to want to experience lots of sex.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is that we'll dog a woman for doing that, but we won't dog a guy. Just like you said before. But to say
Woman's a
we'll call her a
man's a
hoe
pimp.
or exactly. We'll
pimp,
call her
or
a
that
hoe
dude's
or
a
whatever
player.
else. But I respect a woman. She's like, yeah, I like to get I like to get down. That's fucking
Okay, getting down is one thing, but going cross country and a couple dudes in a movie theater at the same time, that'd be
Yeah, that's
problematic.
much. Yeah.
Okay?
Going cross country, do you just say that?
Yes.
Oh my god.
But see, if a guy did the same thing, if he had
He would be a
8 or 9
god.
yeah, oh
A
my
god, I say.
that's the
I would
double
not wanna
standard
see
that we're
that, but
facing,
yeah.
though. That's a double standard. Those are the exact same situations for two people in the sex. We have two completely different opinions.
Yeah, it's different things because how hard is it for a guy to get laid? That's not like a Chad or a Tyrone.
No, not necessarily.
Really?
Yeah.
How hard was it when you first got laid? Or trying to get laid? Or Kyle trying to get laid? Joe, you got a girlfriend that you were dismissed. Okay? But like well, maybe younger.
Why am I
Maybe
dismissed?
younger.
Sober, yeah, it was hard.
It's very difficult for a guy to get attention from a woman. A woman has to agree. Hence, the woman is the gatekeeper.
But you don't
to
learn
sex.
the rules as a young guy.
The-
You don't
playing the
learn
rules?
things that there are rules.
The rules.
There are rules when you're trying. For instance, when you're a young guy trying to have sex, and you might be nervous asking out a girl, you're like, oh, well, you're not very confident. So when you're not very confident, you can't approach a woman correctly that way. So when she sees you, she sees a punk ass bitch trying to ask her out.
Yes, bitch.
And
So
who
she goes-
wants to fuck a punk ass bitch?
Exactly. So that's when she goes, no, not having it. But as you, let's say you have your first sexual experience. After that, you realize with time that your confidence actually attracts women rather than detracts women. So you use it as a weapon as a man. And the more confident you are, the more women you can pull. So
that's why you got into stand up, Bert.
I got to understand it for the opposite reasons.
I got news for you, Bert. It doesn't work like that. What happens is women talk. Women make the gatekeeper stuff. When I was banging strippers, they told each other exactly how I was in bed. Hence, I never had a lonely night when I didn't want one. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
That's just strippers, though. You can't say that all.
I'm not saying all strippers, but the strippers that I dealt with, they were passing on the word about my performances.
But
So
let's talk about...
I was not lonely, okay?
But even with strippers, let's talk about just, regular women that aren't strippers in terms of, let's say there was
Not
somebody.
all women are strippers. Is
What are you
what
trying
you're
to say
saying?
now?
Oh, you guys.
All you ladies are gentle roses.
Like, let's say
and I
it's-
love every single
I'm
one
fucking
of
playing.
you.
It's someone you're at the store with, or that you see at the store, or someone that you knew that you liked, and you project that air of confidence. There is a 70% chance, you guys. There's a 70% chance that you could
Attention.
sleep with that woman if there's a mutual feeling, I should say.
You're talking about the laws of attraction. What the fuck? Is this like a romance
Wait,
novel?
are you saying
No,
at the
that's
grocery
just-
store? You're
that's
saying
just-
at the grocery store?
I'm saying if you're a single guy, you meet someone at the grocery store.
Okay,
nice
so what are you
plantains.
holding? Are you holding
Grocery
melons?
store, church,
And
stuff
you're
like,
like-
that.
Hey,
Are
baby
you
girl, why you need to buy that cucumber?
Yeah, you got a cucumber and you just keep moving your hand up and down it, looking at her.
But if you're
You're cocking a shotgun, basically.
But if you're
I love the look that Kyle's giving right now. He's just standing here like
the gears are turning.
he's
Like,
processing,
all
man.
right, so just imagine like having this as a pickup line. Like you see like a attractive girl at a grocery store. You just go up to her with a box of Kleenex and go, "Hey, you want to help me not need these anymore?"
Oh my god.
why do you need pickup lines though? You can just ask someone their name and approach yourself with
You
confidence.
see, you put yeah. It sounds like to me you put the pussy up on a pedestal, dude.
no pussy on the pedestal.
See,
My pussy lives
you
with me
looked
at
down
home.
when I asked you that question. You didn't look me right in the eye, sir.
Oh no, I don't put
Okay.
it on the pedestal. What I'm saying is
See, you look away. See, I know
Actually-
it. Now your
No.
secret's been found.
no. What I'm doing is, in terms of you being a single person, if you portray yourself with confidence, you should pull a decent amount.
Okay. First of
That's
all,
all I'm saying.
distracted by the pictures of Catherine Winnick just came up again.
Yeah. They ain't
Oh, dear God.
I'm not saying you pull that, but you pull something.
That is the type of woman that you'll throw your back out from putting your soul into her. Okay? Anyway. Sorry. This sexist moment has been brought to you by Fuckboy Ice Cream.
Well, now we're all on the same page thanks to Catherine Winnick.
Yes.
Dude, when she's dressed as like Lagatha, I think like when she comes, it's like more manly. Like bass in her voice.
Now, see, I'm interested in seeing this show. I've never seen that before.
Everybody's going to look
But
at
in real
Catherine
life,
Winnick.
probably
You have to
the
Like
opposite.
every young white male is like, you gotta see Vikings.
Dude,
Yeah, you do.
pretty good,
It's a
man.
damn well written show.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that like Catherine Winnick is just gorgeous. Okay, she's beautiful.
I'll give it a shot, man. I'll watch it. I just watched Rick and Morty for like the first time
Really?
last week. Yeah, very first time. So I'll give this show a
You're
shot.
just circling that one face with the arrow on the mouse. Oh yeah. Yes. Oh, that bathing
Oh,
suit.
here's
one
the
is-
foot picture again.
Yeah, there's the
Fucking
foot picture
weirdo.
that we went on a tangent.
We're gonna find you, foot
gonna-
guy.
We're gonna.
I bet
just
his
put it
like
on the
email is athletesfootdick at like ymail.com.
Athlete's foot dick.
Yeah, because you fucking still have ymail, you weirdo. Like, get with the fucking or Hotmail.
Hotmail. Oh my god. That's taking
Dude,
me-
if you still have Hotmail,
Hold on. Scroll
Make
back
better
up. Back
decisions.
down. Right there on that. Right. That with her in the heels.
We talking about people with foot fetish. She goes, oh yeah, right there with the
Holy.
heels.
Holy mother of all that's holy.
Holy mother of all that's holy.
and
Oh.
She's beautiful.
now I got to clean the underside of the table.
Look, Ma, no hands. Oh!
I ain't never seen a Cartman doll with all white hair before.
What is she peeling off her face right there? Is that like a, oh yeah, it's like some kind of mask or something. Right there, it's a makeup effect.
Yeah.
Or mud mask, or a facial mask, or
See,
whatever.
that
Yeah,
could
it's
be a
like one of
makeup
those like
effect.
tricks that women do. To,
To preserve- yeah,
You
to
know.
preserve their beauty, yeah.
yeah,
You
they're
act like it's
fucking-
Game of Thrones or smoke coming out of
They're
her pussy.
fucking wizards. They have vials of potions.
And you know what? I'll be
This
honest with you.
became
My
very
wife
male
has
all of a
never
sudden,
worn
like,
makeup.
Yeah,
Don't trust
yeah.
anybody who has more than 4 products that they use for their
You
hair.
know what? You're right. My wife has never worn makeup. I've never seen my wife in makeup but once. And that's been in 18 years.
So
Oh my
she's
God.
trustworthy, is what you're
This
saying.
show is just gorgeous.
If I wake up next to her at night, and then I know who I'm waking next to up in the morning.
Catherine Winnick,
Oh,
we
she's
love-
wearing a fedora. I don't think we could trust her.
Oh yeah, Catherine Winnick. If you ever listen to this, we love you. We adore you.
All right, let's get off with the
Right.
Catherine Winnick fucking
Let's go back to strippers.
strippers. All right, let's type in strippers here.
Catherine Winnick is probably enjoying that conversation.
Yeah.
Man. Well, you know, to be honest, there's other strippers stories I can tell you that like stand out a lot. One in particular that I can definitely say stands out a lot. There was a girl who was having dealings with her sexual orientation, and she finally realized that she is a lesbian, and it started to confess her love to another dancer. And it started getting really bad, where they started like, and the girl who was the object of her affection was not gay, and
Oh, boy.
and did not handle the situation well.
Was she homophobic or did she just not handle being?
Well, think about it for a second. Someone you've known for a while decides to say, "Oh, all of a sudden, I'm gay and I'm attracted to you." How do you respond? Okay, it's a
Yeah.
very rare situation to be putting yourself in, and it's
That
a
is a
unique
little-
situation. Well, because with somebody going, "Oh, that happens to me all the time." Oh, good for you. But
What?
but
Where the fuck are you living?
yeah, where are you living? When this
How
is
many
happening?
friends do you have?
Where can I
Yes.
go get that attention?
Yes.
Where did you find them?
Yeah, but what happens is that
Oh, I hang
she
out
starts
mainly in
getting
gay clubs.
handsy with the girl, starts getting really handsy with the dancer, and it starts getting in this big upheaval, and she
Oh, that's a
shuns
big
her away. And then what happens is she freaks out, drives off, gets drunk and gets on pills and everything. And almost had a suicide attempt because she came forward about being gay.
The presentation was bad.
Yeah, she didn't handle it right. She just basically came forward, and then I mean, it's a difficult scenario, I imagine, for anybody in that situation. You know, when you're trying to come to terms with who you are sexually. But I mean, it's a very scary scenario and uncomfortable for many because some people are still not socially used to that kind of stuff. yet.
Should have had hors d'oeuvres hors d'oeuvres in a nice dinner setting. I think that would have kicked off.
How was your oysters?
I'm totally serious.
By the way,
Food makes everything better. Like if you had a nice dinner and some hors d'oeuvres, and
How was the
then
dinner?
you came out, and
Hors d'oeuvres.
people wouldn't matter. I
had a
think
big
people would
day
take it a
planned
lot
for
better.
us. Yeah.
I mean,
you
I
like
wouldn't,
some more
I wouldn't mind being
cocktail
told I had
sauce?
gonorrhea if I had some sushi in front of me at that. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You
it's
enjoyed
like,
that?
oh.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
before.
You got
enjoyed
spicy
that
tuna
sushi?
to make
you got
it
that
up.
spicy tuna. Speaking of spicy,
That's what your pee is going to be like. Oh, can you pass the soy sauce?
Oh my
Pass
god.
that spicy mayo.
Dude, wasabi, I can't get enough of that shit.
Ooh,
That is-
so I didn't
dude.
like it at first.
we were
but
talking about the actual wasabi, not code
Yeah.
for anything. Okay. just
No,
wanna make
no,
sure.
I'm talking about the real wasabi. Man, we go to this this spot. It's Tokyo Steakhouse out in Tinley Park. It's in the south suburbs of like Chicagoland area. Amazing sushi. I've been to sushi places literally in probably like 5-10 states, and this is the best fucking sushi place. Like they are by far the best at just
You said Tokyo Steakhouse?
Tokyo Steakhouse. Trust me, if you go there, you'll be amazed by the presentation, but presentation aside, holy fuck, the food is amazing. Their sushi is just so fucking fresh. I've went to places where I get worried about eating, raw fish and shit like that. I don't need to eat only raw things, but there are some things that I like eating raw stuff on. And this place is just like the top of the line fucking most cleanliness like fucking place, but holy fuck.
Now think about if you had to come out and then you invited all of your family there and you paid for it for them to eat.
Are you making plans? Or?
No, I mean I'm just saying. Wouldn't it make that transition a lot easier than grabbing somebody's titties?
I mean, yeah.
We're talking about food, and you still got back to the whole lesbian gay.
I'm amazed.
That's how he went to the
I
food
am
part.
amazed. I was thrown off for a second.
Yeah, he was lost. He was
I was like, Bert,
wait,
you
wait,
got plans here? Like,
about sushi?
all right, so this is a good spot to tell your family that you're gay.
Oh no.
Dude, I'm gay for sushi, man.
It's good that I mean,
Slide that shit down my gullet.
Here's the thing: is though, I've never had sushi.
Oh,
mainly
well, if you
because
want to go to a
I
sushi
just
spot,
had it
this
maybe
is
a
fine.
year ago, so
Because of
I
what
can't
I've
say.
learned about if you get bad sushi in unkempt waters, I was like, I heard about that and I was
Oh
horrified.
yeah, there's always bad spot, but then that's the same thing for like Mexican food.
True, but I don't want to
Any
have.
other
I don't want
type
to
of
have
Asian
fluke.
What
word.
about Domino's? If you
So-
get some Domino's or some fucking Pizza
Little
Hut,
Caesar.
you're risking. You got a 16-year-old picking his goddamn nose,
farting on the cheese?
farting on the fucking cheese because he thinks that shit's funny. And yeah, fart jokes are funny. I don't blame him.
but not on my food.
But not on my food, you fuck.
You fart on someone's head like a grown man does.
Yeah, but you're running into the same problems. I mean, say if you go to an Italian restaurant, you get some linguine with clams.
Yeah.
You're running into the same kind of risk. But with a sushi place, dude, sushi fucking chefs, they have to be training for so goddamn long. You know what? If you want to like respect fucking sushi, watch Jiro Dreams of Sushi. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary about a fucking a sushi chef. And it'll show you an appreciation for what the fuck they do and the art form and the amount of prepping and fucking like actual attention they put towards their food. It's,
You guys
it's
are making
fucking
me
artistic,
so hungry for
man.
sushi right now.
Oh
real.
my god,
I'm still
It's-
not convinced.
I'm just saying, man. Like, trust me, you don't have to. And with sushi, it's not all raw. A lot of people think that it's all raw. That is a misconception. There is a multitude of different kinds of style of sushi you can get. I get one with it's got asparagus in it.
Oh.
Would you expect that? I think it's got asparagus. Spicy tuna, which is it's cooked.
I love spicy
It's cooked.
tuna.
And then there's other things like cream cheese and shit like that. You can get like something like
Like a
you know,
Philadelphia roll.
Yeah, you could get
I
the
like
Taco
those.
Bell versions of sushi, and those are fucking good. You know what I mean? Like the California roll, which is
Yeah.
just like what celery, and
Celery,
onion,
avocado,
and
yeah.
and sour cream or something. I don't fucking know.
You ever
Cream
had
cheese.
sushi, Kyle?
Yeah, I've had it. It's good.
Oh
It really
man,
depends where you get it from.
YouTuber?
Yeah.
I'm the only person in here who hasn't had sushi.
I only had it like maybe about 8 or 9 months ago, but when I had it, I loved it. And I can't stop
I don't
it.
know. Someone would have to take me to a very, very good high-end place to.
Koi
place?
is very
I'm
good.
gonna, I'm gonna
that's
have
close
to treat
here.
it like a very high-end call girl.
go
okay,
to Tinley
to
Park.
be taken.
Go to Tinley
To be
Park
taken.
and check out this spot.
Okay,
or go to
Japanese
Woo's.
steakhouse.
There's another spot. Yeah, there's another spot. Woo's. Woo's house. I heard.
I've actually just tried.
And it's all connected.
I actually just tried that Woo's ramen over on 95th and Cicero in Oak Lawn.
Oh yeah, I
Where
heard
you
about
custom choose what you want in it and stuff. That was just different.
An actual ramen restaurant.
An actual ramen
that.
restaurant.
Dude, ramen is actually not that bad. Like if you get like some top ramen and you actually crack like an egg or two in there, it's not too fucking bad. If you're a poor fucking motherfucker.
But it's high end ramen. Let's get something clear. Not crack open a bag and stuff.
Not some bullshit.
Let's get something clear about this, people.
Dude, I've been drunk and I've eaten ramen dry with just the powder on it. It's like Doritos.
Me too, dude.
If you're drunk enough, it's like
No.
Doritos.
When I was younger.
Trust me.
Cook the pasta and then drain it and add the powder. Oh, heaven. That was like what it was when I was younger.
Oh, yeah. You
some.
add the powder at the end. You don't want to cook out the flavor.
No.
And you said dry ramen you've had?
If you cook,
not dry ramen, I
the
cooked
flavor
it.
in, I'm going to kill you.
No,
I was
I
gonna
cook
say
it
something wrong
and
with
I would drain it and then I would add the powder to it.
Just to the noodles?
Just to the noodles.
Oh, fuck.
That is the shit. Now I remember
Yeah,
that
I
was
would
the
do
shit when I
that
was
same
younger.
thing, but then I would crack an egg on top of it, and then I was like, what else could you need?
Yeah,
I mean,
this is how guys are with food. Okay,
We just get a little creative.
We
You
get
throw some
creative
ketchup on
because
that
we
shit,
love food.
Fuck it. Well, I cook better meals now, but fuck, when I was like poor, I would make some shit. I would make miracles. Out of Miracle
you got
Whip.
me miracles happen.
I don't know if it's still a miracle if it's with Miracle Whip.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Mayonnaise
think so.
sandwiches? You ever had mayonnaise sandwiches?
Never had that.
I've never had a mayonnaise sandwich.
Yeah.
My mom,
Mayonnaise.
My mom would do stuff with
Anybody-
toast, where she would put butter and sugar and cinnamon.
Oh, cinnamon, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cinnamon
Okay.
toast, son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cinnamon
Yeah.
toast. That is
The butter,
shit.
though,
I
mean,
still
could you
do
have done
that.
about the butter?
That's what she did. That's how she would make stuff for us. Put butter on it, put sugar, and then cinnamon, and then swish it all around.
God.
A garlic
on
bread.
toast. On
Instead, if you don't
toast.
have like real garlic, you can just put butter and garlic powder. Throw it
It's
in
getting
the oven.
close to dinner time. I'm going to be fucking up some food.
I know we're talking. Yeah,
I'm
so-
cooking filet mignon tonight with blue cheese,
I hate
I
you.
wouldn't know.
and Amish butter,
I was in the wrong fucking
Damn you.
and
house.
some fucking sweet
All right,
potatoes.
so maybe the cap off what we all just
Well,
talked
yeah.
about.
We got-
Wrestling, it ain't fake.
Yeah,
It ain't fake.
It ain't fake.
that is the lesson of the earlier part of the segment. Wrestling is, you know what? Chris Jericho said the best about that. You know, when people say it's fake, and I'm like, no, you don't see me in a match, and all of a sudden a chair shot's coming, then a stunt double comes in. I'm the one who's getting hit with that. I'm not the one who's like basically letting somebody step in when I'm getting body slammed. You know, everything we do, everything we feel in there. It doesn't hurt as much, but it does hurt, and it does progress over years when you're banged up. So to say it's fake is such a horrible, lackadaisical term to say about wrestling.
Strippers, are they fake?
Are you talking like
Do they
metaphorically
exist,
or
or-
physically?
Physically and
Holy
metaphorically.
fuck.
There are some genuine strippers, but there's some that everybody else is pretty much the same, like vapid, like just I'm trying to put myself through college, you know.
What college? Horror college?
What college are you on? Whore college?
Horror college? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Was that degree made out of sheepskin?
Oh, jeez.
And Bert's the
jeez.
professor. Like, well, hello, ladies. Welcome to High Heels 101. Remember, it's got to be clear.
Now make sure that you sterilize that heel because you're going to be sucking on it later. But that's in the advanced course. Okay.
It's very interesting lifestyle, I guess, to say the least. Yes.
So,
Oh, man.
wrestling ain't fake. Strippers, maybe fake.
Yeah, they might be fake.
Sushi is good.
Catherine
put
Winnick,
it in your
definitely
mouth.
not fake.
Catherine Winnick,
Dude.
100% natural.
She is fucking
Yeah.
real.
You guys got me actually. I think I'm going to check out that episode of Vikings.
By you saying check out, he's going to have his dick in his hand.
Well, of course, I have to watch it at 1 because I got other people in the house.
Yes.
1 in the morning.
Can't be in a situation when
Well,
your
we
pants
couldn't
not on,
fucking
your
be
ankles
more
in the house.
grateful for you coming in, man.
Yes,
It was
Coming
awesome
through
fucking
with this
meeting you,
very
man.
Yeah, likewise, man. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I've had so much fun doing this. It was I just just gives me a chance to get an outlet to get my comedy shit out. Just
Oh man,
being funny. You know, I can't help it. I love to make people laugh.
Well, you're definitely a funny motherfucker. I'm gonna definitely check out some of your. I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, but I'll fucking come and check you out because
I won't be doing that forever.
Funny
man.
as fuck, man.
I've been doing it for too long as it is, and I may be doing it for a couple more years, and then I'm gonna hang them up. But,
When's your next show?
This weekend, I just remember where I'm supposed to be. It's going to be in Markham at the Markham Community Center.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Check out some shows.
And it's on Saturday, and the show starts at 7. And
What's the date for that?
what is that, July 5th?
Or
6th?
That's going to be the
July
6th.
It's July 6th.
Okay.
All right, this podcast might not be out by then, so
That's okay. That you still
we
get
feel
you
like
for
shit a
that you
little bit.
retain.
But
that's fine. You know what? What matters to
work
me
with
is that
us,
people
guys.
get a laugh. People got a laugh out of this, and you know it was my pleasure to be on here, and I will.
Fuck
be
yeah.
And
more
we'll
than
get some of
happy to
his
come back.
future dates too, and we'll put them up when the podcast is
we'll
up.
definitely put up some show notes about everything that he's got going on, and he'll be back here for
Hell
sure because
yeah.
this debauchery was a lot of fucking fun. And this, I was not expecting this, man.
If you could see Joe and some of the things that were coming out, he was literally about to fall out of his chair. Okay, I mean, everyone else, like Bert and Kyle, are familiar with how I can be. He was his first time meeting me, but like the fact that he was almost gonna fall out of his chair from laughing, it was like
Hey,
I'm like
cannabis
yeah.
infused too.
Oh yeah, hey.
It was
I'm
a good-
using steroids. I'm
was a
like
good
Lance
version of
Armstrong
the
right now. I got one nut. I'm here for the laughs, though.
But it's a pleasure, guys. And if you guys want to follow me, I'm on Facebook under Jarod Priest, JarodPriest. Drop me a friend request. I have my own little thing that I do called the Demigod Project, which I do like every Wednesday night, where I just talk about whatever's on my mind. So
I watched it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It
I
is
try.
very
Yeah, one
interactive.
dude doing this stuff for an hour and trying to find stuff to try to be funny. Okay, that's what I try to do. Now I give, but it gives everybody a perspective of me, like the range of how my emotions are.
You got your outlet, and I think you got a personality, man. You got to fucking do a podcast. And,
Yeah, thanks. I want
and
to
definitely get in contact with me. I'll try to help
You'll
facilitate
make your dreams
whatever I
come
can.
true.
Yeah.
Make your wildest dreams
All right. Well, I guess we're about 3 hours in or 2 hours in. I don't know. I can't judge by the numbers. I think we're 3 hours in. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. We're gonna fucking go around the table and have everybody drop their fucking social media and shit. And we're gonna be coming out with more episodes in the future. You can follow me anywhere at Joe Beasley Comedy. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also comedy_hound at Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Bert, how can they follow you?
I'm on Instagram at Bert, BERT.young.7. I am also on Twitter at BertYoung79. And I am on Facebook at Bert Vonnie Young or Bert Young. I have 2 profiles there. And also follow Exit Stage Left Comedy. That's a comedy show I produce at Exit Stage Left at Facebook.
Okay, I have a Facebook, facebook.com/Kyle Allen Comedy. I'm ugly, so I don't have an Instagram.
Should
And,
only post butt crack pictures.
But here's the thing. It's like, if you guys
you
really
don't
want
use
to
the
hear what I have to
filters?
say, just listen to the next episode. That's it.
We got some big shit coming. We're not sure when the Dolezal episode's gonna come out, but hopefully that's already out by the time that you hear this, and hopefully you've heard our name by now. All right, and thanks again for everybody, listening. Bryce, you got anything that you want to close out with?
Well, like you want something profound or what? I got, you know what? It's
Give
a
us
call
some
sign.
life-changing advice.
Nah, I've just got a good call sign I want to use. It's like, hey, for everybody who's listening, thank you for tuning in. And look at your day as stay awesome and stay ninja.
Stay ninja.